This meeting is being.
Hey, folks, just getting settled in here. We'll wait for YouTube to fire up. And we are good to go. And look at this. We have a special guest tonight, folks. It's Celtic Tarot Sheila. How you doing, Sheila?
I'm doing well. Thank you for inviting me. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, welcome to the Psychic and the Psychic. We are short a psychic, though.
She'll be here.
Yeah, she will. Hi, Annalie. How you doing? Cassie, Christian. Hello, hello. So, Sheila, you can't see the live chat tonight, right?
Well, I'm actually going to go on to your channel, and I'm doing that right about now to go and join you in that.
So, folks, we're just getting settled in. I just met Sheila a few minutes ago. We're waiting for Annette to pop in. So, hi, Teresa, Lisa, Joan. Hello, hello, hello. It's going to be a big night tonight. We haven't had a collaboration in months, and so I'm super excited about this. Hi, Core, Glenn, Thomas, Sherry. Good to see everybody. We're waiting on Annette, and we'll get going. I went on last night live for a while and fielded a ton of questions, but we'll also answer some of yours in real time tonight as well. So hi, Rhonda, Jenna, good to see everybody. So welcome, Sheila, to the show.
I'm sharing you right to my community page right now, so I can let everybody on my channel know that we are doing this.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I might have to bend your ears sometimes, Sheila, for our tips on how to do that. Collaborate better and be more efficient and understand the YouTube world.
Anytime. I'm not, do you know Aiden?
By name from here.
Yeah.
I've never, yeah.
He's the one that takes care of most of our channels.
Oh, really?
He's your guy. Yes. But yeah, I know how to do it from learning by fire hose, and I can get you navigated, but he's the genius behind most channels and doing all of this.
Yeah, you need a PhD to figure out all this stuff.
Oh, and he's already in school. He's literally going to school for film and stuff like that. So I mean, he really does a good job with that. I also have another channel that he put up a banner for, because I could never figure out how to put a banner on. You know what I mean? So all of that. So yeah, he's your guy. If you need some information, he's more than happy to. And he's pretty reasonable. He's reasonable. Mm-hmm. I just kind of throw money at him, and he goes, okay. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. So Sheila, I want to get to know you a little bit more. So can I just have a bit of your background? And I would say your background, when did you recognize your gifts and start to employ them in the real world?
Well, let's see. That's such a loaded question, isn't it?
Sorry.
So I knew as a child that I was different. And the reason why I knew I was different is because I was always accused of knowing stuff that I wasn't supposed to know, and things of that nature. I also my stepfather was kind of violent. So I also knew when he was going to come home, I would gather up my younger brother, and we would go into the living room or into the bedroom and stuff like that. I always knew how to navigate the household pretty well. I didn't understand a lot of that until I got older. I'm 6 out of 7 children. So all of the women in my family for a long period of time have had all of these gifts. However, they've been suppressed because of religion. I was the one that says, I'm not going to be suppressed because of religion. And I went out on a limb, and I went and did that. So at the age of 23 years old, I was introduced to tarot cards. And you know how we all are. Once you get introduced to a fraction of it, the whole crack opens up. And so that's what happened with me. I had that fraction of an experience knowing that I was connected. Mm-hmm. And then it took off from there. There were some bumps along the road, but I always knew after that. I always knew after that. And it just took me a little while to come here and do this and make a living kind of out of it. So
yeah. I'm glad you did. I'm looking forward to getting to know you better. Here is Annette. identified as Annette's iPad every week when she pops in like this.
Yeah, I barely figured out how to put a picture up. I mean,
All right, fingers crossed. Annette is usually the victim of wonky Wi-Fi. So
wonky wonky.
come on, Dion. Here we go. Oh, and we lost her.
And she go.
She must be rebooting again.
She be back.
So how long have you been doing the YouTube thing? And is that where you started to do this through social media?
Well, Trump was my my catalyst, my promoter to get me on here because it was just going crazy. And I felt and I knew and I saw also in my own self that spiritual shift, that spiritual problem that was happening socially. And so I think it was March of 2019. I came on and it was literally to explain what's going on, because we kind of foreseen, that he wasn't going to continue on in the pregnancy. Oh my God.
Pregnancy.
Yeah, where'd that come from? The presidency, and stuff like that. And so that was one of the reasons why I came on and did political readings and really got heavy into that. And then, of course, I would do personal readings, and I've done hundreds of those and things like that. And then now I'm switching over to, I have another channel. So I'm keeping my political channel. And then now I have another channel. It's called Spiritual Conversations, which I just had Linda G on. And she talks about her father, how violent he was. And so it was a really nice, good spiritual conversation. So I have both. I'm a Gemini, so I now have both. Both girls are fed. And so and so that's what's happening on my channel. And I've been here for a little while, and I just knew if I was going to continue, then I would get the subscribers. If I wasn't, then
All right. Welcome.
It's amazing how you find these beautiful communities out there.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that's wowed me the most in the year or so of doing this is you eventually are surrounded by just amazing people and getting to, I'm a people freak. So I love getting to know the names and the handles and find out a little bit about people's backstories and then eventually becoming friends. So it's been a really cool experience on my end.
Hi, Annette.
All
It's
right.
nice to meet you.
Good to see you. I'm finishing my nails.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. Well, you guys are talking, so I'm like, well, I might as well finish what I was doing.
Well, I wanted to introduce Sheila to the channel.
No, I'm not. That's what I want you to do.
Yeah.
You, Mr. Friendly over there with the snow in the background.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm running my Christmas sweaters into the ground this year. I've decided winter is
That's
Christmas.
not Christmas. That's winter. That's like where Sheila is. She's a Colorado girl.
Yeah.
This is true, but
And you
you can wear a jumper in Colorado all year round, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah. Well, if you go up into the mountains, you're always hitting around 50s and 40s and stuff like that at nighttime in the middle of July. In fact, I have a videotape of it snowing on July 4th. No
Wow.
joke.
Where you are?
Well, it was in the mountains. It was like maybe 30 minutes away. We were in the mountains and we were camping on July 4th. And I look up and it was snowing in our campground on July 4th. I was like, I gotta get it. Nobody's gonna believe me. Yeah.
Wow. I
So
can't.
yeah, we could.
I can't camp in the cold weather. If my nose is cold, I can't go to sleep.
Yeah. Us Coloradoans, anything above
Yeah.
0 is warm weather. So
Well, here it's like 50s the past few days. So I've had my window open.
where are you at?
Massachusetts,
Massachusetts. I've been over there too.
right on the coast.
I'd like to ask the community can someone hand knit something the size of Annette's nose that she could wear at night to help her sleep?
I just won't camp in the winter. I'm not a big camper anyway. Yeah. Not really. I love the outdoors, but I have my limits.
Gotcha.
Welcome, ladies, to the show tonight. I'm really excited about this. Sheila, we usually start by discussing the moon phase.
Ooh.
And then drawing a community card. So
Do it.
So should we do that, Annette? And then and Sheila can absolutely chime in as well.
Yeah, the moon is in my sign of Sagittarius and Mercury went direct today. Woo! Where's my bell? There's one bell. Yeah, so that's good. I mean, I'm not a big like hater of Mercury going retrograde because it's a good time to restore and renew and to rest and to, rejuvenate and all the re words. And somebody today mentioned the word realtor. I thought, I wonder if that's one of those re's too. Kind of, if you're talking about selling something, you have to review everything, right? And you have to go through things and review them.
Or revisit a problem. I always
Revisit,
tell
yep.
us, you'll revisit that issue that you just had a month ago.
So when I worked on my record and I went into the studio and it was a Mercury retrograde time and someone said, oh, you probably shouldn't do that during our Mercury retrograde. And then when I thought about it, I thought, no, it's perfect because we're going to redo tracks. So it's a good time for that kind of thing too.
True.
I love your thing in the background. What is that? It looks like it's from a different dimension.
This right here, it's I used to have the box over here. I got it on Amazon.com. It was like it's just a light, and it has a little mechanism that kind of goes around and around and around, and I can change the colors. Right now, it's because my grid is green. I kept it on green, but I can change because my last grid.
If I start seeing them on Amazon, I'm just like, I want one of those and I want one of those.
Me too. It's terrible.
I have one that makes stars. Do you have that?
Oh, I don't know. I think it has something in there that I can change how it looks, and that's not working. Anyways,
yeah, it projects stars.
Yeah, so that's
all. Corey over there has got a device that makes snow.
I know. How do you do that? You have the green screen behind you, and then you just pick a video?
Yeah, these are backdrops that I get from a website all the time. And I love wintry scenes. I like living in a snow globe.
I know. I was looking at you. I was like, how does he do that?
Yeah, I can share the link with you, Sheila.
With this reindeer sweater. I could see you in a snow globe.
We've talked. So look, when you're a redheaded guy, you normally wear very dark colors. And I just find dark on Zoom, it's really tough. So I try I'm down to like whatever bright thing I have. So it's either going to be like a gas station t-shirt or a Christmas sweater.
I like it.
Yeah.
I was a natural ginger too. I was Auburn. I was really darker red. So this is the result of turning completely gray, but yeah, I was red too. So I understand that whole theory.
There's a red hair thing.
Yeah.
Well, so ladies, let's start by asking which tarot decks we'll be using this evening. I know Annette tends to use multiple decks during the course of a show, but Sheila, how do you operate normally?
I operate on which one wants to work with us tonight. So actually I was playing with this one right here, which is Beauty Tarot, that has a lot of female kings and queens and stuff like that. Actually, all of them are pretty much female. So it's a Beauty Tarot. It's for females.
Cool.
I also have my situationals that I pulled out. These are the situationals. So sometimes we just need to know what the situation, how to explain the situation. Just like there's a grip if somebody has holding on to too much in the background, or, not let going stuff. So you got a good grip on it, or if you on the other way, it depends. So I got those. And I have one more just in case, and I cannot remember the name of these.
Let's see.
I just do not remember.
Do you remember who the artist is?
Yeah, I don't remember.
I haven't seen those. I haven't seen the situational ones either before. So those are like oracle cards, right? Those aren't.
These are tarot.
Those are tarot. Oh yeah. The Hermit would be tarot. But the other ones that you
situational, I don't know if they would be considered oracle or more of just informational. I really don't know. They're just made for answering more in-depth questions.
Right. I use the tarot, but I switch it up. I was telling Corey, a lot of people know I found this deck on eBay, and it's the strangest thing because there's no artist's name. It's called the Dark Forest Tarot. And just on a whim, I saw them on eBay and I was like, well, those are really cool looking. They came with a box. I ordered the box to go with them, and a cloth that's a zodiac cloth. And it's the strangest thing. It's like and I think they're from Ukraine. That I did read them.
Ooh.
So maybe someone's trying to keep a low profile. So it was really weird. It's like, where did they really come from?
Very cool. Very, very, very cool.
So we use these sometimes, and sometimes I just go with the pendulum to see which one wants to be with us. So I'm not sure. We don't, I'm like a, shoot from the hip kind of a person. So we didn't really plan how we would orchestrate this.
I'm
So
good with
Corey-
that.
Yeah, Corey, let's leave it up to Corey.
Yeah, I got a bunch of questions last night. So we can either have, we can alternate who starts with an answer and have, if each of you want to answer, or we can just bounce around from one question to the next, or we just kind of vibe our way through it. So so I'm fine with that.
You want to take turns, and then we'll, like, if there's something, if I have a turn and I answer, and then Sheila goes, I have something to add to that. You want to do it that way?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, normally, I know normally on my channels, and I don't know if this will help at all, that we always give, because each one of us has a different perspective. Sometimes the same cards, but we each have a different perspective and a different intuitive. Maybe all three of us can answer it, because that gives it a full circle. That's sometimes what we do. So it's up to you guys. It's your channel.
There you go, Corey. You're officially deemed a psychic now, because Sheila just said, the three of us can answer, and so that gives you a turn.
Pressure.
What are you gonna do with that?
A lot of pressure to start the show.
Take a deep breath. It's hard.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have a big audience already, so we want to say hi to everyone out there. You were speaking with the psychic and the sidekick. Annette is your psychic. That is Annette Dion. You can find her on YouTube. She's right down the road from me, and beautiful in historic Gloucester, Massachusetts. And Celtic Tarot, Sheila is joining us for the first time, coming to us all the way from Colorado Springs, Colorado. We're super excited about this. We have a bunch of your questions here at hand. I'll field some of your questions in real time as well. So, ladies, are we locked in with our guides tonight?
Are you?
Locked
Oh,
and loaded.
Always. Let's start with the guest answering the first question. And
All
then
right.
I'll chime in. After she answers, I'll chime in if there's more that I see.
Okay. Sounds good to me, folks. And away we go. So the most popular topic last night when I was fielding questions was about everyone's favorite MTG, right? Marjorie Taylor Greene. And so Eileen, to a specific question was, how much damage will MTG do to the country now that she's been appointed to lead the Homeland Security Committee? So Sheila, we will start with you.
Well, that ironically, I'm also in a remote viewer. So when I heard that, instantly I heard what that said. She is not going to have the intelligence to understand what they're talking about. That was my first impression. Like, this is going to engulf her and it's going to overwhelm her. Yeah. And then the one thing that she's going to do, the people who are briefing them, she's not going to be able to manipulate them.
Well, she won't be able to follow. Right? She won't be able to follow them. She'll be like, what?
She won't understand it. She will literally have this. She'll have that, how if you ever watch her, she go, she does. Like, she has that. She'll have that too. So that was my first impression, is she really won't understand what's going on. This is too high level of a committee for her. Let me see what my cards would have to say. The 10 of Cups, fortune fulfillment. So, the fortune and fulfillment, she feels very blessed and very, like she's been stepped up in the world, and she really got this. So that's coming from her for sure. And the other one is she wants to insert her willpower. Will she do any damage? I just don't think that they're going to allow it. It's almost like there's other people on that committee. Of course, the Republicans are going to be heading it out, but she won't wield her power as much as she can. So when she comes out of those briefings, ooh, I got the death card. It may be a problem. I think that's going to be a problem for her. It will end her career. For one thing, she'll come out of those briefings probably saying stuff that she shouldn't say. Number two, she'll say stuff she didn't understand. And not only that, she's going to be lost. So this is really going to showcase her inability to govern. So that's what I got for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you complete?
I am.
We just want to make sure. I don't think she's going to last. I think that Jack Smith has got a lot of dirt on Marjorie Taylor Greene. I feel like she's in way over her head. And I see other people on the committee. Now, I haven't looked into who's on the committee and how many Democrats are on the committee and all that. I feel like they're going to put her in her place in no uncertain terms. And she's going to try to be, I mean, I don't know how you feel, Sheila, but to me, it's like middle school. She's like the middle school girl, tough bully, the ones that I avoided like the plague in middle school. It's just like, I just got out of the way, right? And that's the level of mentality that she's at. That's what I call arrested development. When somebody hasn't, and it's a trauma response, actually. So I feel like she got arrested in her development at around middle school age. And so all she has is bluster and bully and bluster and bully. And she reminds me of Carrie Lake in that regard. Like something happened and they just, all they know is bluster and bully. But I just see, especially, like people in the military, just like really putting her in her place. Like this is a country. This is national security. What is she on, the Homeland Security Committee?
Homeland National Security. She governs she gets intel from the border, which is gonna be her favorite.
We won't say she governs anything. Yeah. So, I mean, the committee governs that, but she won't be governing. And I see with her the same expression as I've seen Kevin McCarthy. Deer in the headlights, lose their train of thought. You know, that overwhelmed feeling, like if you're on the spot and you just all of a sudden your brain leaves. And I mean, people have this when they get into panic mode because they feel like they're on the stage. It's a kind of like stage fright.
Correct. So
their reason leaves them. And I just see that happening to her. And I've seen that with Kevin McCarthy too. But I think the question is what's going to happen? Was that what the question was?
Yeah, it was essentially. Yeah.
Essentially, I don't think she's go ahead. I don't think she's going to do much damage because she won't be able to figure it out fast enough.
Plus, I don't see these people staying, I don't see them being able to keep their seats because of the justice that's coming.
Right.
She was an insurrectionist, and I just to speak to that, I just want to acknowledge that everyone's having a hard time with the news because it's traumatizing. And I want to speak to that because I think it's hard and that we have to bond together with what's going on because the foxes are in the hen house. The insurrectionists have been rewarded by being given a position and like as a reward for attacking our democracy, being a part of that. So I think it's really traumatizing.
Mm-hmm. Well said, ladies. Okay, thanks for the questions. That was Giselle and Eileen and Anna Macedo all had questions regarding that. Moving on, this is from Thankful Mom. You just mentioned Jack Smith. The question is a simple one. When will Jack Smith indict Trump? Sheila, do you want to start with you here too?
When?
Well, I have to just ask a question. Do you think that Marjorie Taylor Greene, Sheila, is going to lose her seat?
I don't know. I was just looking at that. I was coming in. It's just so. I take a deep breath and I almost have this like they know that she's going to tank politically before she gets held accountable. It's that kind of a feeling sometimes. One day we have, she's going to be taken out. She's going to be arrested or she's going to be held accountable and stuff. And then the other one is like, let her lose politically. To be honest with you, it's harder to hold those people accountable than you think it is.
Yeah, but I'm getting Mike Pendulum saying she'll be held accountable, whatever that means.
Yeah, we don't know what Spirit has in mind for the accountability. That's the thing, is what we want her to be is held accountable, put in prison. What Spirit says, I will hold her accountable by her actions, by her losing or whatever it is, whatever Spirit has for her. And we just don't know what that is. So, and going back to the question of time framing, I got the 9 of Cups, satisfaction. It's almost like it's telling us just hang in there for just a little bit longer, hang in there for just a little bit longer. As any psychic knows, getting a time frame is almost near impossible. It's not on our time. It's not what we think time. I think time is an illusion to us. Therefore, spirit doesn't recognize it. That's why we get very rarely do we get a time. It's like a better guess than anything else. I also have the Page of Pentacles, desire and willpower. Yes, they have the willpower and the desire to go and hold them accountable. So all of that, and the clarity and the focus, that's gathering all the evidence and getting everything taken care of. And then we have the High Priestess, the wisdom to know when to pounce, the wisdom know what to do and how to do that. And they also got empathy. Unfortunately, we have empathy. I mean, fortunately, we have empathy.
Unfortunately.
You're right. We've lost our empathy for the people.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like, oh, we shouldn't be so empathetic. We shouldn't be so compassionate.
But I did get the 10 of Cups, meaning that they will go after the family, after the gathering, after the people who've done it. So I had that.
And I know the next question has the name Jack Smith in it, and I just, when I think about Jack Smith, the more I learn about him, the more I know he's completely capable. The criminals that he's brought to justice are like of the inhuman breed.
Mm-hmm.
They're like so scary. The kinds of criminals that will, like, I can't even tell you what I see, that the criminals he's prosecuted, I mean, for international crimes, energetically, they're not even of this earth. They're from the underworld. It's just so dangerous and so violent and so scary, the criminals that he's taken down on the international stage. So I think that this is really complex for Jack Smith, just in terms of the amount of material that they have to go through, not in terms of whether he can handle it. And I do feel that when it comes down, it's going to be fast and furious and like dominoes. And that's kind of how it has to be, I think, because it's going to be like, we don't know what hit us in terms of, what do you mean there's no justice and now there's justice? And I don't know if you do astrology, but I'm picking up an astrologer here, professional Aquarian, or I forget what she goes by. But anyway, she said, she heard me say around the 3rd month of the year, I feel a big shift. And she pointed out that there's something going on astrologically. She might be in the chat. There's something going on astrologically that points to that. And the 3rd month, I've been getting that the first 3 months of this year, hang on to your hat. It's not going to be easy. And today really, really felt that. Do you do astrology?
I don't understand astrology too awfully much. Mine is more intuitive and stuff. And as you were intuitive and talking, we have all gotten that it was coming fast and quick. We have all come in, like we were all waiting, and all of a sudden we wake up one day, we're all going, what just happened? Right?
Yeah. Okay. I hadn't heard that, but that's good confirmation.
Yeah.
Because they're not doing nothing and they're not afraid. The DOJ, they're not doing nothing and they're not afraid. Jack Smith has no fear. Jack Smith reminds me of these guys that go rock climbing up these here in Colorado, up these like straight up 90-degree angle type thing.
Well, this is something they have to be 100% accurate. This is not something you just go out on a whim and go get somebody, because if they lose in court, it's repercussions for the country, not just for somebody who is in court. So he wants his wall to be solid. Yeah,
precision is the word that comes to my mind.
Yeah,
they're working with great precision. They have to have a counter for every, in court. They have to have a counter argument for everything.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Hey, Corey, you forgot about you.
Oh, no, this is the job. Don't worry about it. So, folks, if you're just tuning in, hello. I am Corey from Bridge Cape, and you're watching a special episode of The Psychic and the Sidekick. Celtic Tarot Sheila is joining us from Colorado tonight. We're very excited about this. For the first time, it is now 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here. Welcome to everyone in the chat. The live chat is humming right now. We'll try to get to your questions, folks. We're knocking these off one at a time. It's going to be a normal marathon session that Annette and I do every Wednesday evening here for you. So
normal?
Buckle up. Yeah, I know.
I told Sheila she didn't have to stay for the whole marathon.
If you guys are willing to have me, I will be here.
I know, but Corey goes for like 3 hours and he doesn't know when to stop. And
I told her, I warned her.
At some point where I go, okay, I'm done, I'll let you know.
Then the next day, psychic hangover. I wake up and I'm like, man, I didn't drink anything. What's going on?
So, Annette, did you have dinner tonight?
I did. I had some soup. It was a while ago. I made soup. I've been making soup just about every week.
Do you have any snacky stuff? Any snacky stuff within arm's length?
What do I have? Just soup.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. We'll see how long you last.
Did you get any? Oh, you know what I had for lunch? I had a knish from Warren.
Did you really? Yeah, Warren's in here. Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have told you because I'm hoarding.
That's fine. That's fine.
Maybe we should fill Sheila in what the heck we're talking about.
Oh yeah. So one of our longtime viewers, Warren Greene, he's in New York City, and he often sends us deli foods or foods from bakeries and down in New York. So knishes have been a big thing that he's been sending us. I say us, although Annette is apparently
she's hoarding.
Yeah.
I'm not sharing.
I had a mashed potato and vegetable knish for lunch, and I had a little bit of my soup earlier. And I was saying last week, I noticed that as long as I'm eating really healthy, what I really do, that is a lifestyle. I don't get that hungry, which is kind of a cool thing.
True.
Well, we'll see how you're doing in about 2 hours, Annette.
Yeah, and then we break up the peeps and the sweet stuff, and Sheila, she's been watching.
I was like, I'll be right back. I'll go do a food run.
Yeah, right.
All right, ladies. Our next question comes from Bonnie Anderson, and she asks basically about George Santos' citizenship. Is George Santos a citizen of the United States? And she's asking to please check with the cards or the pendulum. So, Annette, do you want to start with that one?
We were asked that last week. I think I do get mixed up about whether I said it here on my other videos. I got that it was one of my lives, that he's got 3 United States citizenship, Chile and Brazil. I don't know if that's possible, but I got those 3 countries. His name is not George Santos, and he's like a puppet. Did we talk about that on the show? Was that?
We didn't talk about that.
Oh, okay. Because I got this image of like a puppet where there's nothing in there, but somebody puts their hand in and makes the puppet do what it will. He's mentally ill. He's not all there. He's quite delusional. It's really from a divine sort of perspective from the guides. He's really, there's a lot of things happening that I'm noticing that we are, as a collective, to look at and to see it so clearly that we can't deny it. And then it's like, okay, we need to do something, right? So he represents the Republican Party. He is the figurehead for the Republican Party and what it's become. He's a big bucket of lies, and he's a puppet. And recently, I had said before the news came out, because people were asking where his money came from, and I very clearly got Russia. And so he's a Russian spy. We have a Russian spy in the camp, like allowed to be there, and with a refusal to kick him out.
And Sheila, your feelings?
Oh, Lord have mercy. I know a lot about him, right? So that just today, every something new comes out every time. Today they showed him as a drag queen, right? They have proof that he was a drag queen in where is he? Like Brazil or something along that lines. And he had then there was another story coming out that he had a roommate that talked about him stealing all their stuff. I mean, it's just a mess.
He's a
Yeah, he's
thief.
a thief, he's a liar. So what happened was, and this is the surmise that we have gotten, was that he had been put in to get all of the votes. They needed a gay vote, they needed a non-white vote. They needed, they just try to tick as many boxes as they possibly could with this guy.
Oh, yeah.
And he was willing to do that because the Republican Party vetted him and they knew that he was lying and they knew that what he was going on and all of that. So he got paid handsomely, but he's a narcissist and borderline sociopathic because he has zero guilt about what he did. And so he's walking around, and this was a remote that I did. He's walking around very happy with himself. Look what I've done. He just care less if he got caught in a lie. That is irrelevant. He's at the top. He's got money. He's now famous. I mean, he's as happy as can be. The fallout of all of that was exactly what he wants. Now he's on 2 committees. Not just 1, but 2 committees he's been placed on. However, we do see that he is going to be held accountable. The authority is coming.
Yeah.
Authority is coming, and the burden and the responsibility of his action is coming. So there's a lot going on with him, but right now he is as happy as a clam, exactly where he's at. Could care less if he was caught online. One reason why he could care less is because the Republicans propped him up. Therefore, he knew he was secure. It didn't matter. It just didn't matter. And so he's going to be there for a little while. But yeah, it is another stain on the Republicans.
But they didn't vet him.
Yeah, they vetted him. It's coming out that the people who put him into the thing, that they knew all of this stuff.
Oh yeah, well when you said vetted him, to me vetted means they made sure that, like, if you were going for a job interview, they would vet you to check your background, and they did that.
They vetted him. They vetted him. What they didn't do is confirm him. They vetted him, and they knew that he was lying.
So they vetted him, but it was not on the up and up.
Correct.
They vetted him, and I guess I have this preconceived idea that vetted means making sure that somebody's legit.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. But what the Republicans didn't do is follow through with that. They didn't let the public know that he wasn't up and up. They knew once they started the vetting process, like, this guy's lying. And it's almost like a secret with him. Who cares? Who cares? Let him go. Let him go. They did not publicly, which I thought they had to, but I guess they don't.
Well, they've broken all the rules. I thought that Brazil was coming for him.
I'm not sure. There was something else that I think the finances for misusing political money or something like that, donations and stuff like that. I think that's the first up. I don't know about Brazil, maybe Brazil.
Well, they didn't get any other Republicans on that,
Yeah.
on the misuse of campaign funds. Or,
Right.
Apparently that's not a crime anymore. Let me just say, because I felt like we were going to look, because we're already looking, as a nation, we're looking really foolish. And like other countries aren't looking to America anymore. They're not looking to America like, oh yeah, America, what a great place. That's not happening anymore.
No, not anymore.
No, not anymore. So I felt like that Brazil was gonna show us how it's done. The Brazilian law enforcement, I feel like, is gonna beat us to the punchline. We're in the punchline. It's really infuriating, the whole thing. It's just, I mean, I think that it's time for us to all activate and, speak out loudly. I heard somebody on the news today say about the violence that's happening in this country right now, the political violence that's been going on for a while, and it's just getting more and more intense. She said, I don't know what it's going to take for people to care. And I'm going to get the risk of sounding way too serious right now. And I won't be for long. I've had this organization that I started in last year. It's a year old now, called Grassroots of Democracy. And it's like pulling teeth to get people to come, except we have a core group of dedicated individuals. And I was talking to my assistant today, and we had close to 550 people expressed an interest and received the Zoom invite emails. And there's about 9 of us at the most that regularly attend. And we meet twice a week, every week. And I do my best to not get discouraged, but there are times that I'm just like angry that people are, I don't know if everyone's depressed or medicated or too busy, or I don't understand what it is, that this isn't first and foremost on everybody's list, because that's why they're getting away with it. We have to find a way for us to all come together, the hundreds of thousands to millions of people saying, screw this. We are not putting up with this crap anymore. But when it's difficult to get individuals to just show up at a Zoom meeting, to just be a fly on the wall, just be a lurker, just listen to our conversations. And we send out, I'm a wonderful assistant now. I'm so grateful that I've found through my videos and through our meetings, who sends out explicit like notes detailing every single thing that we talked about, with links here and links there. You can do this, you can sign these petitions. And it's like over 500 people signed up and about 9 of us show up. It's
I think it's just oversaturation from the Republican or the American people are just oversaturated with, and they're so afraid to believe something now. And that is something that we as psychics and in the spiritual world are working on, is to create everybody's belief system back inside of them so that they can feel it versus being swung by the wind. And I think that's something that we need to work on, like, yes, the political over here, let's hone in on your ability to know what's right and wrong. Let's do that.
Yeah, and we have to come together to do it together.
Absolutely.
So what do you, I mean, this is a question, maybe we can ask the cards. What do you think it will take for people to understand that every individual counts? Like this, I feel like there's a lot of people going around going, oh, well, what can I do? Well, what you do combined with what all the other people will do will make a difference. It will, and it has. And I don't mean to like be all negative. I stay positive as much as I possibly can, and then I'm just like, ah! And
on a positive note, from the get-go, everybody, I mean, the smallest thing works, right? We all know that the smallest thing works. Waking up and saying, I choose light. That's the basics. And then something may grow or may not grow, but just literally that much will collectively help the collective. So I always like all of them is let's just start there. And then if you feel the motivation to move forward and doing more, then great, because not all of us can do high level energy work. They just can't. Not all people will choose that type of thing to go towards. There are some that have agreed to come down and do this high level energy work as right here, right now. And most of us are on YouTube about this time. But you know what I mean? So not everybody has chosen to do high level work. Low level is there, is available. And the most that you can do is I choose light. Therefore, you're already in the energy field. That's it, right? You're already there. And then we as high level light workers can utilize that energy that you placed in the vortex for us. And that's, sometimes that's all they can do. And I'm grateful for that, for sure.
Yeah.
Well said, ladies.
Thanks.
All right, thanks for the question. Whoever asked that half an hour ago, we appreciate it.
Probably gonna on that question. I don't even remember what the question was. That rant Guilty as charged.
Well, I
don't know.
would like to know what Corey has to, what are your thoughts listening to any of
Corey
this?
doesn't have any thoughts.
So here's a
Yes, he
tough part,
does.
Sheila, right? So sometimes it seems like I'm not paying attention. I'm looking away. So I'm looking directly at the folks right now. And I'm looking at you directly this way. I look at Annette directly this way. I have the live chat, which I'm trying to keep an eye on too.
You are
And then the questions are over here.
I did not even notice I had, because I was talking to Sheila. I'm not.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm really bothered by that. It's really like, it's very triggering for me when I'm talking and someone's like,
I know, but I remind Annette all the time. One is the live chat's always going
I
crazy.
know, but
But
it's
also,
actually-
a lot of people don't
Oh,
view
listen.
these YouTube videos. They're listening while they're doing other things.
True that.
So there's, so anyway, I'm just trying. And also, Annette, you don't see the live chat. Like, there's a lot of people supporting you
No,
about Grassroots
I've
for
never-
Democracy. And I mean, there's a lot of love in there too. So,
I've been there seeing the chat. Remember?
well, yeah, we can't. Yeah, you're like a ferret on crack when there's a live
Chat.
chat in front of you.
Couldn't focus very, very well. I mean, I could do it, but it was very cumbersome.
So that's what I'm here for. I'll keep an eye on
Okay.
it. And we have great wrenches tonight. Our moderators, Thankful Mom and Annalie Finch and Kristen
Thank you.
Montone. Yeah, our bouncers. They've
Did you
babysat a couple people
Exactly. I
already.
used
So.
to call them to the bouncers.
Yeah.
They're great too.
Yeah.
Did you get any boxes this week?
I did. Annalie did send something. I haven't gone to get it yet.
Because sometimes, Sheila, we spend about a half an hour opening boxes because our viewers are like, they're like our aunties. They send us candy and they send us knishes and aunties and uncles.
Yeah.
And they make sure we're okay. And then we
Are you
have-
talking about quiche or what's knish? Like a quiche?
It's a Jewish, like it's kind of like a dough with a filling. I didn't bring them. I mean, I already ate the one that
They're
I brought.
heavy. Yeah.
Like
It's a
it
pastry.
looks like a little pie and something. They have all kinds of stuff, usually made
Yeah.
with eggs, but it doesn't have to be eggs, like broccoli, this, that, and the other. We call them
Yeah.
quiches here.
No, it's not.
No,
a quiche.
not like a quiche.
It's
It's like
knish.
knish.
Okay. Okay.
K-N-I-S. Yeah, knish.
I don't mean
It's,
to offend the community. I'm so sorry if I'm got.
They're from a Jewish deli in New York City,
Sounds yummy.
and I think it's called Gold Belly.
Mm.
oh,
And
really?
Warren, our buddy, he started off about a year ago sending us donuts from a famous donut shop in New York.
He overnighted us a dozen donuts, Sheila.
Wow.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
fantastic.
We might have to.
I'll give you my address.
Yeah.
They
yeah,
pay
yeah.
us in food.
Annette, ring the bell.
All right, is Yoon here?
No Yoon yet, but Marby has tipped the channel, so we appreciate it, Marby, as
Thank you,
always.
Marby.
What a sweet gesture.
We're using the money to build the studio.
We are legit.
Are you home or where are you?
Me? Who
Yeah,
do you
did
think I am? Look at
Well,
this.
you were gonna move.
No, it's within 2 weeks, we believe.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you moved yet.
So, all right, on to our next question. This is for Sheila. This comes from Lisi236, and she asks, will the government be forcing digital currency soon? Some folks are saying money isn't safe in banks. So
Forcing? What do they mean forcing?
I don't know. You tell me.
That's your question. I was just thought that was
Yeah.
a weird way to say it.
I was just looking at seeing what I saw any forcing. Now that has never come up into my psyche whatsoever.
The government can't force you to use a certain kind of money.
Well, I think what they're talking about, she's probably talking about is everything going digital kind of pushes and forces things out of existence.
Yeah. So that's a different, I wouldn't use the word force. I would say
Yeah.
like encouraged or.
I think it's moving that way. I really do. I very rarely hang on to cash anymore. Most everything that I do is online, digital, and everything. So I think out of just natural selection, I think it probably would go there, but I do not see the government going, okay, today's the day you get to use your last $10. I don't see that
Right.
happening. I think money has been so ingrained in our culture that we may do this to the end of time. It's just something that we've started with as humans from the get-go, from a rock to, any currency. And I don't think that would bode well with humans. We still need to have currency. If the banks crash, we have to have currency of some sort. And I think that is, I just don't see that. I think less use of it. Yeah, I can see that, but I don't think they're going to force. That's what my opinion is. What do you think, Annette?
We got this question a while back, and somebody was asking about crypto. This is about a year ago, maybe, and I said, "Don't do it."
Yeah.
And I said the same thing as you're saying, Sheila. I said that people want to see it.
Yeah, that's.
I just went to the store and I had $40 on me. I went to the store and I spent it, and it felt good to spend it and to get the change, even though I was annoyed that it came to $33.51 and they didn't throw the penny in. So now I have pennies, but it can be aggravating. But I like cash in my business. For a long time, I was that was the exchange. And I've been, in my life, maybe we all know what it's like to work for tips, and it's just fun to have cash. And I think that we'll never get over that, used to be shells and stones, like you're saying.
Right.
I don't see the end of cash as being imminent. I know I think I saw lots of videos of like China where you just pretty much don't have any cash at all. In some countries, there's no cash, it's just digital. But then again, what happens if there's a gigantic solar flare? Then what happens? So I don't think people are comfortable with it because, we live in an age of unpredictability, which is why the psychics are so popular, right? So we don't know. I mean, if even today I was like, oh, I thought I had a little more money in my account than that. Oh, where did it go? And then you have to go looking, and then it crosses your mind, what if it just got wiped out? And that has happened. So I think that, a medium of exchange that we can see and feel and touch will never go away.
No,
It'll
and
be
I think
in some form.
I think we would just figure out something else to use. That's
Yeah.
how
And people would barter, and people will, trade. I'll give me a massage. I'll bake your pie kind of thing.
Yeah, I think we just figure out something else to do. So.
Well, what do you do when you go to a wishing well? You just hold up your phone and
Yeah,
there's like some there's some code there and
QR code, and make your wish, and like a big wish is $50, and
or you go to you go to a gentleman's club and instead you're just like holding up an app.
They must.
Is that what you're supposed to do?
Where's your Venmo, honey? Let me get your Venmo number.
Yeah.
I bet you anything in some places it's like that. Like if you go to Las Vegas, right? And if not you, if somebody went to a strip club in Las Vegas, for instance,
In a Christmas sweater.
Yeah, but those men do not want to be tracked. They don't want to show them their wives or whatever how much money they spent that night.
No,
So
that's
they don't
huge,
approve
Sheila.
of that.
Sheila, I think you just made a great point. It's digital tracking too.
Exactly.
No, but I'm just saying. Well, some guys might not care, right? They might not be married or whatever. But I'm just saying that I think that might be. It stands to reason. The odds are there are some places where they could do it that way.
You're probably right. You're probably right. I just saw a vision of all of the posters of the strippers and their PayPal and their Venmo account at the bottom.
Yeah, there's got to be some clubs that do that in Las Vegas.
Amy Vogel sang in the live chat has a great line. She says, tattoo a barcode to yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Just do a quick scan.
Well, did you
what's those little thing? The QR code. The QR code.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could happen. Yeah.
If you did deep dive into to see, if there are any strip clubs, say in Las Vegas, in a big place like that.
Well, I wonder what they did through COVID. I mean, they had to be able, they wouldn't be able to accept the dollars through COVID, but they would, and they were plasticked up, right? So yeah, you're probably right. That probably exists.
I can see something where there's some sort of code on your person for in the future to make transactions.
That's already happening.
Yeah.
It's like and then it all shows up on your arm, cha-ching.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's, you could, no, I mean, let's think that through. If I wanted to have a QR code tattooed on my arm with my website,
Yep.
that's totally doable. I haven't heard of anyone doing that. I never really thought about it till this moment. But Corey, if you wanted a QR code tattooed on your arm for Bridge Cape Ann, you could spread the word about.
I would tramp stamp mine. It'd be the lower back.
Woo!
Put it wherever you want.
Yeah.
A tip and a show. All right.
That's your call.
So anyway, Lisa, I hope that answered your question. I'm probably sorry you asked now.
Sometimes
Yeah. Rabbit
all
hole.
these different directions. You just never know.
All right. Our next question comes from a lot of people have asked. This is from Joe G. Now, a lot of people have asked if you could please read on Ron Johnson.
They asked me specifically?
Yeah, well, yeah, I was taking questions. And so, but we've gotten this for the last few weeks now. We've gotten this specific one. Please read on Ron Johnson.
Well, I did the other night. I did on my video the other night.
What do they want to know about him?
I did. Well, I had a lot to say, put it that way. On Monday, I think I started the reading that I started Monday nights live like that. Like, I want to look at what's going on there. It was part of the insurrection. He was part of the fake elector plot. He didn't legitimately win in Wisconsin because of voter suppression. They rigged it so that Ron Johnson would get in because Mandela Barnes won. The tricky thing about doing psychic work is that I read, especially with the pendulum, the energy. And so the energy said Ron Johnson was going to lose. And he did lose, as did Abbott, as did DeSantis. I'm reading the energy of the situation. The people that were for Mandela Barnes over, they were higher than numbers, the votes were higher for Mandela Barnes than they were for Ron Johnson. Ron Johnson knows that he's under the gun, under pressure, metaphorically speaking, he's under the gun, and that people are calling him out. And I'm not a fan of Chuck Todd, but I do like that he was calling him out on his Sunday show. And he literally said to Ron Johnson, well, you're probably going to go now and just be in your conservative right-wing extremist bubble. I'm paraphrasing, but sure enough, later on, Ron Johnson went on some kind of conservative right-wing extreme channel. Is a question just about read on him?
Yep.
He's going to be found out. That's what I get.
Sheila,
you want to pick that one up?
Yeah.
I feel like I need to change out my cards. So.
Yeah. The Ron Johnson cards.
Yeah. Well, these are usually my political. They're tarot cards with keywords on them. And it helps me draw more of the in-depth information out of what's going on with Mr. Ron Johnson.
And what
the question is like, well, I mean, the question is, we already know who he is and what he is. What do they really want to know?
Well, that's what I just said what I got, and I got that he'll be found out.
Let's see.
I mean, I could be more specific if I looked more into it.
Well, Nine of Swords inverted, problems not dealt with, severe depression and torment.
I think he's drinking. I thought that he was drinking a lot.
I got the juggling of the severe torment. So he is literally inside. If we're going for who he is and what's going on with him, he's literally juggling his insides, and they are in torment, and they got it inside out. I mean, right side up, Nine of Swords is tough, but getting it inverted is that torment, that severe depression. So Ron Johnson, for some reason, of course, is connected and very, very connected to the Mar-a-Lago. That's our Mar-a-Lago card. He's losing money, poverty. He's losing a lot of integrity. He's losing a lot of his livelihood. He's fighting off a whole bunch of law. I just saw law. I just saw the law book literally just flopped in front of him. So he's out, he's fighting off a whole bunch of lawsuits. Oh, and justice will come for him.
Yeah, there's a lot of evidence.
Yep. So I think he is, look at that, the bravery and the courage of the law enforcement coming after him, and they're already on their horse coming. So I think he knows. I think he knows, and he's also very depressed. I feel this is incredibly strange. I know who he is and what he is, but for some reason he is not as narcissistic as the other people were, and that's the reason why he's fighting the juggling inside of him. He knows what he did, and he has that much, a thimble worth of guilt that is eating him inside and out. And I'm not an advocate of these people.
Yeah, he knows he's caught though. But I understand what you mean, because there's a certain narcissism, like George Santos does it. There's no remorse. There's no guilt. I'll put it that way. There's no feeling of guilt with certain people.
Yeah, but he might have some. I feel like he might have it.
Yeah, I do too. And I kind of feel like there's a female who's making him feel guilty.
Yeah, a wife is very powerful. Maybe the wife is really getting into the whole mix.
Yeah, and she's the one with the money, right? Didn't he marry into money?
I don't know the backstory of
Yeah, her family has money. I don't know if he did. I guess we'll have to do a deep dive into Ron Johnson too. I mean, background. Like we're gonna do the background about, the strip joints and
I think I'm going to enjoy that one more than the Ron Johnson deep dive.
That's a Google. Yeah, it's a Google. That's a Google.
That might be more interesting.
Yeah. All right, Joe, thanks for the question. We appreciate it. This next one comes from Thankful Mom, one of our wrench wielders.
Yes.
And she asked, are we starting with Sheila this time? Yeah, Sheila.
I lost track.
Sheila, did the Secret Service have anything to do with Biden's documents being unearthed?
Well, let me see. There's a lot to that. You know that these were found in November, right?
Yeah.
Before or after the election, I'm not really sure, but it was found. They were found in November, and the information didn't come out until now, which would make a lot of sense, because once they find them, then they call somebody and this, that, and the other, and then the investigation is what promotes the information getting out publicly. Nothing else before that is public information until it's an investigation. So that's the reason why it came out, is when they started that. I honestly do not feel that it was a plant. I honestly do not feel like something nefarious was going on. I think they were just kind of like, hey, these are here. What do we do with them? We're cleaning out the office. We don't want to throw these away or whatever. Do you guys want these back? And the archives are like, we didn't even know they were gone. Then there was nothing missing. I mean, Biden was cleared from the archives when he left office.
Yeah.
Unlike Trump, where he was not cleared. That's the reason why they kept asking for those information back. So the fact that he was cleared already makes me think that these things, I mean, they would mark a menu as secret because of classified. So it just kind of depends on exactly what it is, but the archives were not bothered by it. So he was cleared. So there's that too. I think it's drawn up to bigger than it should be. I get the Republicans. I get it's like the Secret Service had an opportunity to be dishonest, but they didn't.
I'm in agreement with you.
And it is literally the Mar-a-Lago and the Republicans who have all of a sudden feel fat and happy with this information. And unfortunately, so, but that's my take on it.
They give new meaning to the word gloat. They're gloating. I had a very long-winded discussion about this with my Grassroots of Democracy group, and I don't think they really ever got the point that I was making. So then I just shut up finally. But we see what dire situation this country is in. I think it's kind of strange, but not in a suspicious way, that the documents I feel like they just got lost in the shuffle. That Biden was like, oh, whoopsie, right? And then the authorities were alerted right away.
Yeah.
the timing of it being in November, right before the election, with this country teetering on the edge of people wanting to just abolish democracy and become a fascist country. I felt like, I'm not predicting that, I'm not saying that this is what happened. I was trying to make the point that if it were you, and there was a way you could have just kind of held off a few days before an election, letting that information come out. If it were you, I'm not saying this is what happened, but if it were you, and you were in a position where a whole country was on the brink of falling apart, and if they got this information, the whole country would have fallen apart, what would you do?
I probably would have stalled it.
Yeah, and that was exactly my point. And I'm not even saying that that's what happened. I'm just saying that's an interesting kind of way of looking at it, is if that happened to you, you would probably find a way to just wait until a few days
Slow
until
walk
the
is
election.
what they call it in the government.
Just
Slow walk it.
And I, like, once again, I just have to say, I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm looking at, whoa, that could have given them way more, these insurrectionist fascists could have given them way more power if at the last minute at the ballot box, you know, some people went, well, you know, Joe Biden's secret documents, we'll vote for the red person.
True that. I would have if I had a decision and I was in that position, but you see, they're right there with the documents. They're looking at them. They know exactly. If this was like, you know, codes for our country, they would have been like, oh, hell no. But these are probably menus. You know what I mean? They literally classify everything because they're so afraid not to. So we don't really know. So they were there in person looking at them. They knew that they were not a threat to anything. They knew that I would have chose to slow walk it too. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if that's a dishonest move, but I would have slow walked it also.
Well, you know, and honestly, people in this country will die if the Republicans are in charge, and the world will just be destroyed. That's where we are. I am not exaggerating. This is not like, what does Joe Biden always say?
We don't want to scare you.
It's not hyperbole, you know, but just the reality of the situation. They have no interest in any of the science behind global climate change. While what's happening in Colorado, what's happening in California, every single day there's a natural disaster that's global climate change related, and they don't believe in the science. And then, you know, so many more people died from COVID than would have if Trump had just put the pandemic plan in place that he just threw the book away from, you know, Obama. They handed it over. Here's the pandemic plan, you know, oh no, we don't need it. So
we kind of got to look at the other way too. I get that completely, but it worked. I mean, look at their midterm disaster for one. They didn't get as much as they thought, and it is the movement's there, and it is moving faster than it's ever moved in the political arena, right? So I'm excited to see what's going to happen in 2024. However, they are not done. We are not done seeing how terrible they are, apparently, because they got put in power in the House. But they are bookended. They're bookended by a president, and they're bookended by the Senate. So they're going to struggle going this, that, and the other. So they're not going to get much wiggle room in there. We're just going to watch them go to their demise and even more. So we got that to look forward to.
They'll implode.
Yeah. But yeah,
I'm going to try to reel in my rants because Corey's over there like.
We got more to go. We're only 3 questions in.
Kevin, do you have any peeps? Corey, you got any peeps over there?
I'm down to 2 peeps. It depends on whether I have Coke. I can't do coffee tonight to be a lunatic, but I'm down to my 2 gingerbread peeps, folks.
You don't drink coffee anyway, do you?
I don't. It's super, super, super rare, but I can't say. I mean, so that's why I usually just do hot water with lemon all day. But man, that gets boring fast.
Cocoa.
I need something else hot. Yeah, but I can't have 9 cups of cocoa.
Yeah, you can.
No, I can't. That's a frightening thing to realize, but I can't.
Without consequences. That's the problem he's having.
Right. Yeah.
You need like Coco to go with the peeps, and you've got probably how many? 12 peeps?
I need one of those pedal bikes under my desk here while we do the show to work
That's
off the Coco.
How
All
funny.
right, thankful mom. We appreciate the question. Our next one comes from Linda Gordon, and we'll throw this out to our gifted ladies. Linda asks, Russia is increasing their troop support to 1.5 million. Will there be another full assault? So we'll start with Sheila. Is this your start?
I lost track.
I think it's Annette's start. I think I started last time. So
Go ahead,
let's
Annette.
Yeah.
I've been saying for a while now that the start of February, it's going to end, and it's what the helicopter went down today in Ukraine. One of the major people in Zelensky's team was killed. I think like 14 people were killed. It's a very dark time right now. It's like one of the darkest times of the war that's been dark the whole time. This is like, it's really, really awful right now. What this is kind of making me feel is like, and this isn't what's going to happen, but just energetically, in World War II, when it got to a point where we were gonna, it was crazy. And then there were the nuclear bombs, which I don't agree that never should have happened to Japan. I'm just saying that it had reached a peak, and the United States kind of treated the nuclear bomb as a last resort kind of thing. I'm feeling like when Putin first invaded Ukraine, I got the energy of the oligarchs attempting to overthrow him. I got the energy of the people wanting to have a revolution, and I thought that might happen. But I did also very much see NATO against Russia that's going to be tough for Putin. That's going to be really tough for Putin. And I fear that we're reaching ahead right now. And I kind of feel a major attack on Russia from the NATO countries, because Putin won't stop. And you can't just let him keep pummeling Ukraine like this. It's just war crime after war. It's a genocide. He's a terrorist. And how long can we just allow this to keep going? It's NATO's responsibility to help, and it's our responsibility to save, freedom for all people. It's our responsibility to step in. It's bad. So I'm sorry, I have to keep going back to what was the actual question?
Will there be another full assault
by Russia?
Mm-hmm.
That's already happening right now. It's happening now.
I'm wondering if she meant more like a redoubled effort. I mean, I know another apartment building got hit yesterday.
Well, he just keeps doing that. He keeps redoubling the effort. So that's his MO. That's how he's operating the whole time. That's how he's. So I would just say, well, that's kind of like par for the course. That's just that's his war plan, right? So of course that's what he's doing again. Sheila.
Here's the thing about like the United States. Of course, we know that Ukraine was not part of NATO. We have been handing them money fist over hand over to them and trying to get them, as much as we possibly can. We've supported them, so as other countries has done that. However, spiritually, we cannot be involved. They have to cut their own cords. They have to cut their own strings to each other. And this is one of the things that we as a whole world watching the separation of two countries literally in play. And what I see here is the Seven of Swords and then the Queen of Pentacles, like down to earth and motherly. But he is forcing these people to get into battle, but they don't want to go into battle. And all of a sudden that motherly energy comes to them. I don't think they will betray Putin. It's like they go over there and they go, I don't want to fight. They are not doing what Putin really wants them to do. That's not in the news. Why is it not in the news? Because that makes Putin look really, really weak. But they're not doing exactly what Putin wants to do. There are some, of course, are doing it because they're still bombing it, but not all of them are doing it. I also got the democracy is coming fast. That tells me, again, one more time, the democracy is coming fast, quick, and in a hurry. I wish it was yesterday, but we don't know the time frame of when the cord cutting ceremony spiritually is going to be complete with these two countries. And so, but it is coming in a hurry, and as fast as spirit can do that. I also get the world and the pain and the loss and the regret. The world is watching the pain, the loss, and the regret. That's self-explanatory. But here's the one thing that this is Putin. Putin is that misfortune, that lowest pain, the Ten of Swords, handing over it, all that. But the Emperor shows up, spirit, God, the world, whatever, and shuts the little turd down. I also get this one, where this is Ukraine's cards. They are Four of Pentacles, where they're holding on to their country. I also got the Two of Pentacles, where they're juggling all of the demands, and they get the Queen of Swords. They will win. They will gather all of their senses. They will gather all of their country. They will win. So all we can do at this point in time, because there's really nothing else we can do for them, is we watch and support them spiritually, that they are literally fighting for their lives, and they will win. They have a lot of loss. That's the biggest cord cutting ceremony I've ever seen in my life with those two, because of the connection that they had, and then the separation. But it will happen, and Ukraine will stand alone in democracy. And that's kind of how I've seen it for a while. I wish that we could all go in there. I mean, I gather all the women in this country and just kind of head over. We'll shut that shit down quick. But you know what I mean? But that's not how it's going to be. We're just watching them separate. And it's so.
I was just I think I just need a little clarifier. So what were you saying about the cords and
the cord cutting? So I did a remote view about Ukraine and all of that. And the vision that I got was that Ukraine is cutting the cords from Russia, because they want to be independent and they want to be in democracy.
Well, that's what was the case.
Yep. And so Russia is trying to hold on to all of those cords, right? But Ukraine, and there's thousands of them in this vision that I had, and they're just working at it. And once all of those cords are cut, it will be separated and it will be done. But going all the way to the end of that vision, Ukraine will be independent. Now they will have a lot to rebuild and fix, but they will not. It won't be a total loss. They will have a lot there to rebuild. And then what happens with you in the vision with Russia, they fall flat on their face, because the cords were what was holding them up. And Russia is getting weaker and weaker and weaker. We always thought that Putin was a threat, and all of a sudden we're realizing not really. You know what I mean? So Russia is falling on their face. So Russia is going to reap their own reward of their own actions and what they have done spiritually. And whatever universe we live in, and that aspect, they're going to reap those rewards, just rewards. And right. Ukraine will also have their reward of independency, and they will never have to deal with this war ever again once all the cords are cut.
Fascinating answer. Thank you, Sheila and Annette. And I just want to mention here that next week I'll be interviewing my friend Svetlana Rozgon. She is from Ukraine, and she lives here in Gloucester now and owns a bridal shop. But she has helped raise money, and she's been demonstrating around the world and has helped buy supplies to literally physically sneak over the Romanian and Polish borders into Ukraine to help friends of her fighting. And we've had a couple amazing interviews with her, and we are planning to catch up next week. So I'll let folks know in the community tab when that happens. And she has a link to literally an Amazon wish list of things that you can help. Sheila, we actually did this months ago for Svetlana, where viewers here on the channel were donating, buying vests and tents and medical supplies, and then we were seeing the soldiers were sending pictures back to us of them holding things that our friends had purchased to them. So amazing stuff there too.
Keep up the good work with that. Absolutely.
Annette, ring the bell.
Is Yoon here?
Yoon is here. So and we also want to mention, Lee Zahn also donated to the channel too. We want to thank you, Lee, for that a while ago. So Sheila, Yoon Achong Ong is a follower. She's in Singapore. She was the first person to actually financially support the channel before, when I didn't even know what it was. Because of that, she's sort of become like Norm on Cheers when it comes to the live chat. So whenever she shows up, everyone explodes with you.
There she goes.
Wait for her every time we do a show.
Oh, you do have a bell. Nice. Can't hear it.
We can't hear it. That's what happened with some of these bells.
Some bells you can't hear.
You can't hear my bell?
No.
No, some of them you can't hear. You can hear this one, right?
That we can hear, yeah.
Yeah, it just.
You gotta be kidding me. It is so loud here.
Sheila, people have sent me cowbells, dinner bells, tinker bells, and none of them work except that one that Annette has.
Zoom is funny. You know, like I have a piano student that I do on Zoom, but he can't even hear anything. It's not really working out.
Oh my goodness. This one is a really old one. This one's from UK.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really, really, really heavy, and it has one of those really heavy metal. But I cannot believe you can't hear it. Nobody can hear it. Not even
touch of it there, but
somebody said I heard it in the chat.
Yeah, just a tiny, tiny bit. It's this is from a viewer from Montana who sent me 3 bells from India, which is so nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
No return address.
Yeah, but Zoom does this when one person talks. If 2 people talk at the same time, one gets drowned out. Like they'll suppress certain audio channels. Back and forth. But anyway, it is a weird thing with the bells because Annette and I have been side by side and tried 3, 4, 5 different bells and nobody could hear anything.
Okay, why you guys mute yourself? Let me see. Right. I just wanted to, now I'm in science mode. You mute yourself. Mute. Okay, ready? That's so loud. I mean, it is loud. I give up.
Annette, unmute yourself, Annette.
I am shocked. I never would have thought that. That's very interesting.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Total silence.
Because mine's loud. It sounds like the bell that's on top of, churches.
Yeah, right.
Wow, that's weird.
That's impressive.
Well, speaking of the UK, Sheila, we are always waiting on our questions about the Royals week after week after week. So
you can give those to Sheila.
All right.
I don't know if I want them either. We're gonna boot those over to Corey.
Oh my God. Well, basically, it's what are Kel Cal is asking what's next for Prince Harry.
What's next for Prince Harry is he gets a wonderful life of freedom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he gets to enjoy his wife no matter who and what she is. I you know what I mean? I'm like, so what? Every marriage has problems. I'm sure Harry's not the best to live with. He's been royally flushed.
True.
Didn't we talk about this last week?
Oh yeah, we get questions every week about the
Where somebody asked what Diana was how his mom from the other side, and I got that she was really proud of him for no longer holding in his emotions.
Yeah. Well, to me, the weird thing with what between the Netflix series and all the media appearances is you can be traumatized, of course, by how your mother died and the paparazzi, et cetera, and fleeing the royal family. I don't know if running a Hollywood is the best remedy to work through all
I
of
haven't
that.
watched,
I don't think so either. I didn't like it public either.
Yeah.
I didn't watch any of it. I mean, I haven't, the only thing I saw, I think I saw the interview with Oprah, a while back.
Right.
Well, he's going to gain after the UK is shocked and over their crap. He's going to gain recognition. He's going to be that person that it's like, give it a couple of years or whatever, but he is going to be recognized in the world as brave, as the charming, as the guy that did it all and stuff like that. But for right now, he needs to just go back home, be a dad and a husband, and stop with all of this, because right now it doesn't feel comfortable for the world to watch this.
Yeah, but do you think that that's what he probably wants to do?
Probably.
Seems like it.
Probably. He's probably forcing the uneasy conversation, and I applaud him for that. For right now, he did enough to in the future, but right now he is saying that, okay, let's shut this down and go home.
I get that he's he's cut off from the royal family, so he needs to think about his finances.
Well, he has money no matter what the finances there. He has a trust from his mother, and he also has a trust from his father once his father goes, and he had a trust from his grandmother. All of that money was already his without any of the royalties there. So there's no money issues with that guy. That's already him.
I don't feel like he has money issues. I'm just saying, it feels like, to me, it feels like that he needs to have backup money. It could be psychological. It could be, but this Netflix thing, I don't know how much he makes, but all these public appearances, that's a lot of dough. I heard that the book sold a record amount of copies in the UK right off the bat. It like set a world record. I know, something crazy like that. It set a record. And it could just be psychological, but I feel like for some reason he needs to set himself up financially, and maybe it's as simple and complex as he needed to know that he can make his own money. It's part of him becoming autonomous. It's like, so I think that it was good for him to do all that, as much as, like, if you're not interested in Prince Harry and Meghan, then so be it. But enough people are that you could capitalize on that. It doesn't interest me.
Well, I just heard that he needed to set up and make sure that his children are going to be okay. I think the line stopped with him. Yeah, so that's what he's doing.
Some people, no matter what, it just they always have a fear of losing the money that they have. I mean, they're billionaires who are losing the money that they have. So there might be a little bit of that going on. Plus, when you're born into it, how much confidence would one have on one's own ability to generate money on their own? If that would have to be a learned thing.
True.
Well, even before that, Annette, maybe just to be your own person. Maybe he's never felt that. He's always been the world's.
And I do think that Diana would be very pleased that he's doing that. That's kind of what she was about, I just need to be myself.
Yeah. It sounds like he needs a good therapist or two, but he may have the goods to be able to enact real change somewhere down the line.
He has.
He
has, right? Nobody broke away from the royal family. That was like unheard of.
Yeah.
It took a lot of bravery.
Yeah, I mean, the whole tradition was you shut up and you just put up with it.
Well, it's a bizarre existence, one can imagine, right?
Yeah, that's a crazy thing to get brought up in, and then losing his mother and all that paparazzi stuff.
Yeah. All right, Kel, thanks for the question. We appreciate it. This next one comes from Monica Eichler. And Sheila, we actually talked about this a bit before we went on live tonight. It seems like a lot of psychics and astrologers on YouTube are on the progressive/liberal side of things. Do you agree? And why do you think this is the case or not? So Sheila, let's start with you on that.
Well, the reason why is because the cards show us every single time which side we should be on, right? If I wanted to right off the bat before Trump got elected and I threw some cards and the devil card came up, I'm going to go, what is that? And then my intuition is going to kick in. Our intuition was kicked in a long time ago that this man was a liar and all of that from all of the things that we knew about him. It's not we're left wing. We are truth speakers. We are truth seekers. And it's like, I don't, whatever the cards are, sometimes the cards come up in favor of the Republicans and I'll tell them all of that. I'm like, I'm not in favor of it, but Spirit has spoken. I have to tell you what the Spirit has spoken. However, because I am not powerful enough to change what Spirit has to say, and I like to say that right off the bat, like they think you have to do a dance or think this or do that in order to get the right thing. No, Spirit is Spirit. I don't have the power to change that. But I want to also reiterate that I think light workers are always on the side of equality, inclusiveness, honesty, treating somebody better, making sure that this world survives collectively, not separately, things like that. So that would make a lot of sense as to the reason why I don't consider it left wing. We're on the right side of this, is what I consider it. So that's what I got.
Annette?
We're healers. We're healers. We know that negative energy and hatred and divisiveness is not healing. It's not from the light. It isn't that. So a thinking human being that has humanity at heart, like for the good of all, is not going to go following somebody and promoting somebody who, when Trump first bullied a disabled reporter, it was like, no, that's not, there's nothing light about that. There's nothing right about that. And I was remembering today that when Trump got in, do you know that there was a 1 million woman march that was like worldwide, and it was the biggest like protest march in history?
Yep. I remember that.
So we're thinking human beings, we're normal human beings, and we're woke.
Correct.
And we don't want to see people hating on each other. And we don't want to see people promoting lies that promote or even inciting violence. I don't know if anybody's seen like what, after the election in Arizona, how Carrie Lake, she's still going on about it and saying, oh, get yourself arrested, just promoting violence. None of us are going to stand for that. None of us, to be a spiritual person, and we're all spiritual, it's up to us how much we want to practice that.
Yep.
Means that we're inclusive. Everybody's included. And, and we are all given a certain, path and a purpose, and everyone has their own path and purpose. And not everyone's path and purpose is to be loving. But we happen to be aligned with that energy in this particular incarnation. So that's our responsibility, is to stand for that. So if you're drawn to this kind of work, it's out of us. If you're authentic and you're drawn to this kind of work, it's out of a heartfelt need to help. It's like you're a public servant. I don't know about Sheila, but I'm not wealthy. I wasn't born wealthy. I hope to be wealthy. It's not about that. I do a lot of what I do for absolutely free. Now, all my viewers know that. No charge. Donate. That'll be lovely. But I'm just saying, I'm not like saying I'm a saint. I'm just saying having as much money as I possibly can has never been my motivation. And that's the case for every authentic reader on YouTube. Doing it for the benefit of humanity. So when, I mean, I hear about people that are like, oh, this psychic, you know, she's reading about Trump and she loves Trump and I was just, I really have to like, I have a big giant question mark about why anybody would like and want a man like that to be in any position of power or to even admit that they like the guy. That what has he done that is loving? So, I mean, somebody tell me what Trump has done that's loving, that was actually to help, you know, a little inconvenient to him, or a little inconvenient to him, and be like, that was like selfless. One thing, name one thing that Trump has done that's selfless and loving. You can't think of one. I'm ready. It must be the moon is in Sagittarius. You know, there's no stopping me tonight.
Hey folks, it's the top of the hour here, just after 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're watching a special edition
I'll be right back.
of The Psychic and the Sidekick. She was the psychic, Annette Dion. We're also joined this week by Celtic Tarot Sheila, all the way from Colorado. For the first time, Sheila, this has been fun, right?
Yeah, I'm enjoying every bit of it.
Yeah, we're just getting warmed up here, folks. We've been answering your questions in real time. Annette and I do this actually every Wednesday night around 6:30 Eastern Time. So we appreciate all the new handles that we're noticing in the live chat. It's a beautiful community in there, so feel free to participate if that's your thing. Sheila, you want to jump into the next question with me?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. This is from Sandy Delia, who asks, should we expect climate refugees to ramp up because it's not safe to live in certain regions of the country?
That's a good question.
Is that a psychic question?
Well, I mean, this is sort of a hodgepodge of everything in here, right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's not, I mean, that's factual.
Well,
I mean, why were the big migrations back in the day when we didn't have borders? Why did they move? Because of climate, right? Because something went down, the water went away, this, that, and the other. Now, the thing about that the natural occurrence that was happening there, it gave the humans enough time to do what they needed to do. What's going on today, it is sped up because of how we have affected this country. And I don't think we can stop it at this point. I hate to be I just don't think that we have the resources to stop it anymore.
Well, you know, so you look
the only thing we can do is go with the punches, because she's going to punch. You know, the Mother Nature is going to have a day, and this is what I've said to a lot of people. If we keep this up, Mother Nature is going to get rid of her parasites, and she's going to start all over. You know what I mean? She's like, I'm done with you all. I'm getting rid of my fleas and you got to go.
Yep.
But
yep,
she's more powerful than we will ever. She will survive. That's the one thing I want always everybody to understand, is the earth will survive. It's been surviving for millions of years before us, and it'll survive millions of years after us. And that is the one thing that this world may or may not want to do for us, is like get rid of the problem. Like, because the earth is also alive. She will get rid of her problem. I do see that. I do see the strife and the problems and stuff like that of the climate change. I do see the ingenuity, the complications, and the moving. I also see partnerships. So it's not just to this country, but to other countries. The partnership, the teaming, the trying to figure it out and trying to help people. At some point in time in the future, we all get together. And we have a clarity, and we get this problem with immigrants under control. And that's something that I haven't seen in a while. But the future is unfolding to where we get this under control, to where we know what we're going to do. That's interesting. I didn't realize that's something that the Queen of Cups, the King of Cups, the emotional, mental, the maturity, the problem solver. Well, that's new. There you have it.
Well, the question was, will we see that happen? Will we see
migration? Yeah.
Migration. Right. Yeah. And to me, that's not a psychic question. That's a fact.
Yep, that is true. Yeah.
And we will lose a good portion of Florida. We will lose a good portion of California. We will lose where we live right now. I used to have dreams a long time ago, I would have dreams of this place where we currently live, Corey and I, underwater. And that was before I knew anything about global climate change. It was a long time ago. And the Greenland ice is melting at an astronomical rate. And Germany, they're getting ready. Greta Thunberg was hauled off by the German police today because they're getting ready to mine a whole bunch of coal in Germany. And it is too late. We are in dire straits. And then we have like people like Republicans are saying climate change is a hoax. And I wonder if human beings have a death wish. You know, I was reading an article today about the reign of the dinosaurs. We are a blip compared to how long dinosaurs roam this planet.
True that.
Just a blip. We're just a little speck in the timeline of life on planet Earth. And it's unfortunate. It is too late for a lot of places on Earth. And we will have massive migration. And we won't get it. I mean, the whole issue about the border, you know, that's just, it's kind of like,
It'll become irrelevant.
It's
When
irrelevant.
Disastrous. When the things start going, we're going to be, like I said, we're going to have to start rolling with the punches, and we'll figure it out. And a border is going to be irrelevant.
It's going to be a non-issue.
Non-issue. We're just going to start going back to, we're going to save everybody and let's just do it.
And guess what? When this island goes underwater, we're going to have to move.
Well, I don't mind losing Florida. Let's get all the Democrats out of Florida.
They're moving there. People are moving there.
Yeah, let's get all the Democrats out of Florida and all the people who want to live, and let's get them out of there, and then let the other.
Easy, Sheila.
I know, terrible. Entertainment purposes only. I am not serious.
We're all you know, it's going to affect everybody. There's not one person. That's one thing I get for sure. There's not one person, not us, not anybody in the chat, not anybody anywhere that will be untouched by global climate change. I think that that's factual. And it's the first time ever since 30 years of doing readings. It's the first time ever the past couple of years that I've literally been doing readings and telling people you're going to have to move.
Yeah. I was only kidding about Florida and the people who live there. However, I see it in the chat. Like, what the heck? No. It's all right, people. It's all right. I was trying to be funny. That's all I was trying to be. However, I'm not going to, when I save you, or if I have to reach out my hand, I'm not going to say Democrat or Republican. I'm going to say come. Right. That's how we are.
When the Titanic sinks, we'll help you.
Yeah, exactly. We'll still house you. We might put you in the back 40, but we'll still house you.
We'll do what we can. Or we're all going down.
Yeah.
All right, time for a bubblegum question. This is from Sandra Spidel. Do you see Tom Brady retiring finally?
Tom Brady?
Yeah, Annette, we'll start with you, Annette.
I guess since we're very familiar with Mr. Brady, the season ended for him, right? Didn't it just end for him?
Just ended, yep.
The other night.
He's like the hobbits. Isn't this second breakfast?
Yeah.
Isn't this second retirement?
He's
the Tom Cruise of pro sports.
Game. I was talking to my dad about Tom Brady yesterday. I'm trying to remember what we were saying. We didn't think he would quit. And we thought that Giselle should have let him just play. Because it's all he does, right?
It didn't work out that way.
She was, I think she's kind of stubborn. Anyway, so the question is, is this it?
Yeah, will he retire?
No.
I gotta know too.
It's what he does. That's like saying to me, are you going to quit doing readings after a certain point? No, it's just what I do. I mean, he'll have to quit playing football after a certain point, But I don't know,
like
he's a testament, he's a testament to the de-aging technology that's out there.
that is true. But I just saw it as a car. You drive that car all the way to the bitter end when the doors fall off. When his doors fall off, then he'll quit.
That's the thing, is nothing's fallen off yet.
Exactly. So he's still got some miles. He's got some miles on that thing. It doesn't really matter if he looks like a 50. He's gonna.
Yeah.
And you'd be amazed at the advancements in nutrition. Just the de-aging. When COVID hit and all these medical research facilities, a lot of them were left with extra COVID money that they didn't really need to help to research COVID. And so it kind of like bled over into the medical, technology, that advancing medical research. And there was a lot, they've come up with a lot in terms of, and I think I even saw an article today about they're discovering how to make us not age. I don't think that means we won't die.
I don't think there are a lot of knishes in Tom Brady's diet.
Well, I don't know. He's not with Giselle anymore. So there might be a couple of knishes in a few states.
He might, yeah. That seems something.
Maybe some fries with that.
Sandra, thanks for that question. Let's tie this
But
one.
I just want to say, I think one or
Good.
two more seasons for Tom.
Jeez, it's gonna be 46.
One or two. Well, somebody has to go beyond what we thought was possible, right? Like Roger Bannister and the 4-minute mile, right?
Yeah.
Once Tom does it, you'll see. There'll be other athletes that don't quit when they're 30.
It is amazing how some people are improving in their 40s now, athletically.
It's advancements in nutrition. I mean, face it, we'd be dead by now. If it was 200 years ago, by our age that we are, we would have been gone a long time ago.
I always say this is if we didn't have all those vaccines when we were children,
Right. We'd be dead.
we'd be gone.
We'd definitely be dead.
You know how many vaccines children had to get to go overseas when they were military? I was a military child. And so we went over to Germany and I was a pincushion. I was like 10 plus vaccines that we had to have in order just to hop on a plane to get over to another country at that point in time. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So you're not averse to vaccines.
No, once it come out with it, I'm like,
Bring it on.
I don't even know what they gave me back then. I'm okay with it.
Well, would you?
Yeah, you see young, there's a lot of old cemeteries around here, and there's a lot of children in those cemeteries.
True that.
A lot.
Hmm.
When was Colorado settled?
Oh gosh. 17 something. Hang on. Go for the next question. I'll Google.
Okay.
This year is the 400th anniversary of where we live.
Yeah, we're one of the oldest cities in the country. I think that maybe the 7th oldest.
1623.
Yep. So Sheila, you actually walked us into our next question, which
It happens.
will we see another COVID wave in the next few months, like what they recently saw in China? And so, Annette, do you want to start that?
I was going to hand it off to her. Hang on a second.
I'm talking to an empty chair.
It's getting a little chilly in here. Is it getting colder?
No. These get warmer as the night goes on, I find.
The heat's not on like it usually is. Yeah, give it to Sheila. I don't want a COVID question. I already. How many times have I answered COVID questions?
Well, listen, it's been how many years? It's been 3 years now. And you said we finally get over the hump January 2024.
No, I said it will be gone in January 2024.
Yeah.
I said there would be 1 million people that died from COVID before we got a handle on it.
Yeah.
That is true, but I do not feel that COVID's coming back into this country as a pandemic. I don't.
Mhm.
I don't feel it. I don't from the bottom. I think we have enough of vaccinated people to put us over that hump. Now, those who are not been vaccinated, I mean, every one of my friends that I've gone through has gotten COVID. I mean, this COVID's not done. It's just, going through everybody now. But those who are not vaccinated are not going to survive as much as the ones that are vaccinated. That's just a fact. I know I'm not an advocate. Either way, you do you, right?
Right.
However, the truth is that COVID is not done taking out what it wants to take out in this, but I don't think we're going to have a pandemic here. And Colorado was founded August 1st of 1876. So I was about 100 years off. It was just like 3 months after I was born. Just kidding.
Probably true. A couple
Yeah,
of
but I don't feel like COVID is going to be a problem in this country.
we're done with the worst of it.
as a pandemic. No.
Mhm.
The worst of it, like Omicron and Delta scared the hell out of me, honestly. I mean, if you remember what it was like in 2020, that was so scary.
That
When
sucks.
it first hit, and it was like, oh my God, I could kill my parents. It was just like, without knowing it.
Well, I had COVID before the vaccine. Because I was a security officer, and it was mandatory that I had to work. And so I was always out there. We even had to have pieces of paper with us at all times showing and proving that we were one of the ones that had to be out there and working. And I one morning felt really, really sick, and I went to the hospital via ambulance, and
Wow.
yeah, but I had it really light. It was probably because of maybe I was healthy. I don't know. But I got my vaccine the moment that they came out, because I did not want to do that again, because I haven't been able to get back onto my my elliptical. I get on there, and I like 2 minutes in, I can't breathe. I still have that. I used to hike up mountains. I can't do that much anymore. The weight gain is absolutely astonishing to me, but I'm alive, and my grandchildren get to see their grandmother, even if she is fat and happy.
You're a securities officer?
I did a few things in my life, but the last one that I retired from was a security officer. Yeah.
Oh, wow. What was I going to ask you about that? So you had COVID once, right?
I had COVID once, and then I got it one more time, but it was like nothing, because I had gotten vaccinated, 2 vaccines and a booster, and it was like a positive test. That's all it was, really. I really didn't. I was tired. I got a headache, but
Yeah. Corey had COVID.
Yeah,
Corey,
I really enjoyed it.
you have it so easy tonight. You're just kind of just like, I keep forgetting you're there.
No, my job's to pass the baton. That's what I do here.
that's right. Well,
3 talking heads is a lot.
I was gonna stay for a very long time, but I just got a notification that I have another 6:30 meeting. Me too.
Oh, yeah.
That's all you do.
It's early, babe.
But yeah, so we got a couple more questions.
Okay.
How much time do you have?
I can go all the way up till it's 6:23 here for me, so
Yeah.
I can go all the way up to 6:30, because they do introductions and stuff like that, so I can pop in after.
Okay. Well, in case you have to leave sooner than later, Sheila, like I've loved spending this time with you and getting to know you a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's
I'd love to
fun.
do this again some point as well.
Yes, absolutely. This is fun. I'll have you guys on my channel.
Yeah.
Are you doing like a group thing, psychic thing, or it's not related to
Oh
this?
no, this is not related to that.
Oh, okay. Just wondering.
I just forgot that I agreed to do that. It's more like how would I put it? Spiritual helpers that we all get together and
Cool.
talk about things. So, but I forgot I said that. I'm like, oh, I do have something at 6:30.
I know, and I told you just an hour, but
Yeah.
you volunteered to stay, so good.
That's all right.
I didn't want to pressure you. You have to stay for 3 hours because Corey likes to do marathons.
That was Corey. Sheila, we
I-
did
I-
both
I
ask
have-
question. What?
I have a question. And this is a question for Sheila, and it's not related to anything psychic. When you do your videos, do you shuffle the cards next to your microphone?
I do, and for some reason, it's not even coming up anymore.
Well, no, that's a good thing, because I don't know. You know how some noises just are, you're real sensitive to certain noises. I
Yeah.
don't know. I cannot bear it. When
Well, a long time ago, Yeah, I was having that problem. I would shuffle and shuffle, and at some point I would just mute it, shuffle it, and then come on, or something like that. But since my new microphone, nobody hears it. It doesn't even
That's
show up
good.
on the. I guess so. I have double things like oh, your shuffling is driving me crazy, and then I miss the sound of shuffling. So you never can.
Yeah, well, to hear the shuffling a little bit, that's not a problem at all.
Like sometimes it just like echoes it.
But I mean, it's just like sometimes I'm listening to somebody and it's like it's just so loud.
Yeah, some people have. Yeah, you're not the only one that has those type of problems, but whatever, the universe fixed mine, so I didn't do anything differently. It just stopped. Like, I don't even know if you guys can you hear me do mine with this?
No, not at all. I was just wondering if that's
I just shuffled loudly because I'm like one of those casino shufflers.
Yeah, a lot of
And you
psychics
can't hear that?
a lot of psychics are, and it's just like, wait, I can't focus because it's too loud.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was just curious. That was a curiosity question.
Well, the most asked question for Sheila tonight is, Sheila, what is that green light behind you and how can I get one?
Oh
I
gosh.
already asked her that at the beginning.
For real. Yeah.
I cleaned up, so that means I can't find the box.
Yeah.
But it
Go on
was
Amazon. Go on Amazon, look for funky lights.
yeah, it was definitely from Amazon.com. You guys go ahead and talk. I'll give me 2 minutes. I'll find it on Amazon on my on my orders. I can just push in lights and see if it comes up with it.
I like having lights. I've got colored lights in my office.
So Annette, are we staying on?
It's up to you, Corey.
Don't be a brat.
What?
We have questions. You tell me what you want to do.
Yeah, we can stay on. How about another half hour?
Okay, we can do that. So I
Because
want to make sure we get all of Sheila's pertinent info in too. Her shows, her channel. Yeah, Celtic Tarot Sheila, folks. If you want to follow her, how often are you on, Sheila?
On my Celtic Tarot Sheila, I try to do at least 10 videos a month, or maybe 1 or 2 times a week. It's random for me on that channel. But I also have another channel. If you're not interested in political readings, I have another channel. It's called Spiritual Conversations. And I have Jeffrey from Ripe Color. I did one with him because he went through a fire in his apartment and in New York, and he was up on a 5th floor walk up. And so we had that conversation. And then I just did one with Linda G. And in that one, she talks about her violent father. And so this is like spiritual conversations. How do you deal with, being raised violent, coming out of that, coming up, still being a light worker and not going to the dark side where a lot of people have went, right? With all of that stuff that goes on. So that's a really interesting. So that one's a new one. And that one is even less random. Like, I'm going to try to do at least 2 or 3 spiritual conversations a month and pop them up there. Those are impactful because they, last a little longer. So there you go. Go do that.
So people want to find you or learn more about you. That's where you prefer them to go.
Correct. And I think somebody is already saying, is it Anna Lee Finch, which she's brilliant. She has my link in the chat if you wanted to go to that. And if you can't find my other channel, go to my community page, and I've posted a few videos from that other channel on that, so you can find it from there. So
very cool.
I'll be glad to have you. Yeah.
So Sheila, we do know it is 6:20 or 6:28 your time now, so we know you have to run.
Well, I can do one more, and then I'll get off here, and then I'll just sneak into that other. It's a Zoom meeting, so.
Oh, and Sheila, if any of your viewers want to be involved in saving our democracy, just let them know. They can go to psychicannetteDion.com. We are getting a separate website for Grassroots of Democracy, but it's there.
Fantastic. I found the light. It's called multi-color, multi-mode LED fiber light. No, that's not it. Wait a minute.
Multicolor, multi-mode LED.
That's not. You said no. That's not it.
That wasn't it. Hold on a second.
Nice light though.
It sounded good. Anyways, it's on Amazon.com. I'm sure if you just pop in lights or whatever, colored lights,
Yeah, yeah.
They might find something else that they like if they just go to
Yeah.
that.
That's right. Okay, how about this question from Spiritual Seeker 583? Will the U.S. continue to be the target of Russia after Putin dies?
Is that for Sheila? That's for Sheila
Yeah, let's have Sheila get in there.
because she's leaving.
I don't think that ambition is going to be there, but let me throw some cards on that. I just felt an absolute, when Putin dies, I felt that absolute relief and calmness. Like the calmness came over the valley when he dies. Like it's not even going to be it. Russia is going to retreat into Russia and lick their wounds and try to figure out how to fix their culture and fix their people. I just literally felt that. So look, see the two cards, working and then walking away.
Yeah,
Literally walking
he
away.
needs to go. He needs to go.
And he is sick. So, and then
Yeah.
the reunion, them taking care of themselves and them getting somebody in there that's going to work for the people. So no, I don't think this country is going to be the focus. They couldn't beat us if they wanted to.
Are you surprised that Putin's still alive?
I am. I think
too.
I think it's all medication. I swear. You know, people, all of this advanced stuff is keeping people alive longer than they should be.
I know. I think I remember one night we were talking about that. The word cryogenics kept coming up in my head.
He's always been a pretty pumped guy to begin with, whether that was natural or not.
There's a lot of Botox, so you can't read his.
I found
Okay, you gotta go, right?
it. It's called, oh, you can't see it. It's called Ocean Wave Nightlight.
Oh, fun.
Ocean Wave Nightlight.
We might need those, Corey.
I got it in the chat. I'll
There
let
you
the
go.
piranhas play with it.
And it's only like $23. It wasn't expensive at all.
Yeah.
So and you can get it in black and white. So yeah, it was
And
called,
it works well, and it didn't break. I mean, nothing, because I find that I get things that aren't made very well, and they just break, and then off they go.
I don't mess with it. I kind of put it on a thing and let it go. In fact, it literally runs 24/7 down here.
Right.
I don't turn it off.
Oh, no kidding.
So, and I've had it for over a year. So anyways, all right. Yeah,
Cool.
I think once Putin goes, Russia's going to retreat, go back in and try to figure out what's wrong because they have a lot of things wrong in that country at this point in time. So
Yeah, I think Russia's tired.
they
Russia-
Well,
cannot.
they can't be broke.
Mm.
Not to mention, they can't have any money left.
None of that. And not only that, we realized they showed their butt, right? They are not as strong as they kept on saying that they were.
He's a master bluffer, that Putin.
Yes. So he didn't have the strength when it came down to it. He doesn't have the strength to show up with them. I mean, the United States, it would have taken them 48 hours to take them out. You know what I mean? If they would have come up against the United States, that's all it would have taken for us to take down Russia. But,
Yeah.
all right. That's not a threat or anything, and that's entertainment purposes only. And if
That's your
there's
mic
somebody-
drop, Sheila, for tonight?
Yeah.
All right.
Sheila, we appreciate your time and thanks for sharing your gifts with us. It means a
Oh.
lot, and it's been cool to get to know you a little bit, and I can't wait to do this with you again. So let's stay in touch.
Absolutely. Friends for life.
For
All right,
coming.
folks, follow her
Peace
Celtic
out, peace
Tarot
out.
Sheila or Spiritual Conversations. You can find her there and give her a follow. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
All right, it was fun.
Bye, Sheila. Thank you.
Good
You're
meeting.
All right, and that is just me and you again. What do you know?
Oh my gosh. Meanwhile,
She was great, huh?
yeah, that was really intense. It's a whole different energy to have someone else in the room. And man, we're talking about heavy topics. It felt kind of heavy in terms of the topics.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, these are, heavy things we're tackling, but I thought the two of you worked really well together, which was cool. Joanne McCardle's asking, please be sure to post a live chat so I can copy. Check. So yeah, the live chat always ends up about 24 hours after the live feed's done. Maybe a little less than that, but that's why it's not immediately available in case you missed the live show. But I hope that helps.
Is that automatic with the live, that after 24 hours, the live chat comes up?
So what happens? So we do the live show now, right? People are with us, and then it stops. Okay, when we stop the show, and let's say Yoon shows up an hour or two later and starts to watch the replay, the live chat isn't there yet. So you have to wait until the next day for it to be program downloaded and then visible again.
Oh, I didn't know that. And I know when I do lives, I'm doing mostly all lives now. I didn't know I could go back and watch the live chat again.
Yeah, you can. It's a box you check.
Yeah, I never know what people are saying.
That's good.
On this show, I mean.
Oh yeah, it's been booming there tonight. There's been 600 odd people.
Really?
Yeah, big show.
Wow. Hi everyone.
Yeah, I got Bubba's head is down here. So
hi, Bubba.
He made his way through. All right, but not yet. Not yet, Bubs. Not yet. All right, ready to roll, Dion?
Sure, let's do some more questions.
Let's see.
Shall we?
All right,
here's
one from SG.
One more piece of chocolate.
Oh, that's what you're reading tonight?
Yeah, I have raspberry crunch.
Did Warren send that too?
No, I got it from Misfits Market. I get groceries delivered every week.
I can't believe you kept Knishes from me.
I just got them yesterday.
I'm teasing.
What kind do you want?
Come on, did you probably got, I'm gonna guess you got the cherry.
I think I got 2 cherries. I have to look again. I told Warren I wasn't gonna give you any.
No, that's fine. Here's one from SG. If nobody has already asked, can you ask Annette when the avian flu will go away and when more bird eggs will return? Or increase again, I suppose.
The avian flu never really went away. And it's never going away, but I do see them getting a handle on it. I see massive amounts of antibiotics, which isn't great either. I see the price of eggs going down to like $3 a dozen. And it feels like middle of the spring. I feel bad for all the breakfast places. They must have to jack up their prices.
Oh yeah.
The bakers and stuff.
You see how many people are just raising their own chickens now? Mostly for the eggs. Like, it's unbelievable.
Are you going to get chickens?
No, I know enough people who do though.
Bubba would just
so different.
One bite. Bubba would just be like, chicken.
Or egg. He'd eat anything. Or the egg carton. He'll eat that too.
I'm sure.
Thanks for the question, SG. Here's one from Michelle McClintock. And she asked, does Annette see us going to Mars within 10 years?
No, we're going to have too many problems to take care of on Earth.
Yeah, Mars
no, we're gonna need all the resources, all the monetary resources that we can get. We're gonna be too sidetracked by too many global issues to go to Mars.
Good. We're kind of lightning round in this one.
I was just about to say, is this a lightning round?
Let's do it. Glenn Bird asks, will Congress vote to refund the school lunch program soon? What do the cards say?
When the Democrats are back in power. Yeah. We notice that Republicans just want children to starve. Unless they're their own children, and then their own children are well fed, but Republicans just want children to just suffer. I know that sounds really snarky and snide, but it's just true.
That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
PC asks, will the relationship between Trump and Putin expose world crime rings?
God, yes. I thought that was already known. I thought it was already known that the crime rings are there.
Sorry, I'm scrolling through the chat.
Oh, so many of the problems, I would venture to say, all the problems that we've suffered over the past 7 years have been because of Putin. And the United States. All the problems we've suffered over the past 7 years with our government, with us being divided and fighting and the violence, that all can be connected to Putin. Because he knows that if the United States is divided we fall. And that was his complete and total intent. And psychological warfare is very good at that.
All right. Next one comes from Colleen Beanie, who asks, when will Matt Gaetz be indicted?
The month of August is popping up. I mean, I don't think that we won't hear anything about him being in trouble. I don't think we have to wait that long, but let's see. The guy's just said he's going to lose his seat. And I'm getting he's going to lose his seat because he does something really stupid. Like he pushes it a little too far. And I wonder if on some level they just want to get caught. It's like with Trump. He's like saying all these heinous things, almost like he wants to get caught. Everything he's saying incriminates him further, it seems. And I feel like Matt Gaetz is just going to do something really stupid. Because it's more that they think that they're invincible. Is Matt Gaetz going to be indicted? Yes, Matt Gaetz is going to be indicted. Yeah, I feel the bone coming down in around August. So there'll be things leading up to that. There'll be news leading up to that.
Good. Thanks for the question.
Jail. I do see jail.
All right, now we're talking. Maria Rodriguez, we love Maria. Will Puerto Rico be submerged underwater like Florida?
Yes.
Oh boy.
See, I don't know what it is tonight, but I just feel like there's certain things that I'm just kind of going. Everyone knows that, right?
Our lightning round is just like cold slaps across the face, one after the other after the other.
That's a fact. That's not a psychic question. That's a fact. I'm just joking with you. I'm just messing with the viewers. Yeah. But it is factual. And that global climate change is going to cause, and the glacial melt is going to cause Florida to mostly be underwater and California to mostly be underwater and where we live to mostly be underwater. That's factual. That's based on the data. So of course, Puerto Rico and this summer coming, there will be places that will become uninhabitable with the hurricanes. Puerto Rico is one, unfortunately. So talk about migration, mass migration.
Next question comes from Lucretia Valdez. We love Lucretia. Will MTG and Bobert have more cat fights in the future?
Get ready. If you like cat fights, I have once a week. We're going to hear about it once a week. I'm telling you, it's like middle school, not even high school. It's like middle school. And that's an insult to middle schoolers. But I just mean the nasty girls in middle school. Crazy. What's going on in the chat over there? I feel like I'm being left out.
Well, following up on, people are a little worried about Puerto Rico right now.
Everyone, look up the science, look up the climate change map. Came out a long time ago, decades ago. And if you Google, I haven't Googled it, but if you Google it, I'm sure you will see what's projected to happen with all this glacial melt. I mean, it's not. I think seeing Greta Thunberg being hauled off by the German police today was really. I mean, there's so many things that are happening, especially right now, that are so deeply concerning. Like, why isn't Germany saying no to coal? And yes to solar and yes to wind. I mean, just really amping that up. So, I mean, you know that, and I was reading an article this week about the seawalls in Miami. Like the rich people on the coast are mad that they're putting up concrete seawalls. They're mad. But it's either that or their homes get washed away. But people are that much in denial.
But do you think this will be in our lifetime?
Absolutely. You know, it's not because I didn't eat enough food. I'm getting aggravated at how people aren't really like looking at the facts. Oh my God. This is happening.
It's time for Annette's peep break.
No, I don't have any peeps, but I'm saying that we're seeing this. California has had major storms since Christmas, and I don't think it's over yet. I think they're still having these atmospheric river events, and it's just crazy. I mean, I'm not mad. I'm just saying I'm just overwhelmed at the amount of denial that I am seeing. Just overwhelmed at how, like, I really think humans might have a death wish. Or they just can't. I don't know. What do you think, Corey?
I think I need to vet these questions, so the ones about the Royals and Tom Brady are towards the end of the show.
We already answered them.
I know.
Oh, I see what you're saying, to lighten them up.
Yeah, this is to be a little more uplifting. But no, I get it. Hey, look,
There's a lot of heavy stuff going on. Really a lot. What's tomorrow? Friday, the sun goes into Aquarius. The energy will shift. It will be different. And then Pluto goes into Aquarius in a couple of months, I think. So we're going to have a lot of major changes. But the Aquarian energy should make us come together a little bit more. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarian. We'll be all like hippies. Peace and love.
I was waiting for the Hungarian Aquarian to show up.
Is she here? I know. I was wondering.
No, haven't seen it. All right, here is our question of the week. So let's see if we can get through this one.
We have a question of the week now?
This is from Thomas Ballantyne. He was in the live chat last night. He was also on during my show with Linda Sabo, the change worker that I did yesterday from the Andrews studio, which is pretty good. Okay, here we go. Then buckle in for this one.
Wait. You did a show at the studio yesterday?
I did a show with Linda Sabo to test out Andrew's studio again yesterday.
I have a meeting with him tomorrow.
Oh, do you? Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
we're gonna.
We can get back in there when you want to too. Once I got to get left, right, center this weekend out of the way, and then I can clear my head again.
My guides told me to start a podcast, so stay tuned.
But you do that now, basically.
No, but I feel like it's going to be a podcast. I haven't. I just have to wait for further instructions. I already know the name of it.
Okay.
I'm not even sure how it's going to benefit me.
I know you don't.
No idea. Just go with what I'm told. That's how we started this show. I came to you. I was like, we need to start a show called Ask Annette.
That's right.
That weird night. That was like 3 years ago.
A long time, longer than that, right?
No, it was 3 years ago because it was right before COVID. It was January 2020.
Yeah.
But we started on Facebook.
Those were the days.
It's
look
still
how
those
far
days.
we've come.
It's still those days.
It is. So Thomas's question, and Thomas is with us tonight. I just saw him in the chat. I have 2 locations on my body where the moles line up with the Giza pyramids and Orion belt. Did I have alien abductions? 2 lifelines as an alien, or is it just a coincidence?
Is he paying you?
So.
Come on, he must have slipped you $100 bill or something.
No, that's the question. You don't have moles that line up with the Orion belt?
I haven't checked. Have you? Have you checked the moles on your body, the freckles on your body to see what they align with in the cosmos and the stars?
The Giza pyramids.
Now, one thing is true though, the ancient, archaeological, discoveries, or some of these aren't like digs, they exist. They have seen that the ancients would build their big, I don't know, like cities and everything, but their temples, so that they would align with the different constellations. And so that gave the historians the idea that they were actually appealing to the ETs, their mothership. So he's on to something, but I don't think your freckles line up with the constellations.
That could be something else to look into.
I'm surprised you let that one slip through.
Wear sunscreen. Well, we get towards the end of the show and we start.
Anything goes.
Yeah.
Look out.
How about this question, Annette? Where is Mark Meadows?
Hiding. Mark Meadows is pretty terrified right now. He's hiding. A lot of these people, we were talking about this the other night. We haven't seen him. We haven't seen Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell has hardly shown his face. Lindsey Graham has hardly shown his face. Ted Cruz kind of disappeared a little bit. Josh Hawley. It's interesting. I mean, you can formulate a question around that. Ask the chat people.
They're asked. They're out there.
Who do they want to know about? Like that we haven't seen lately. Mark Meadows is hiding. I mean, I'll pull a few cards about Mark Meadows.
Okay.
I feel like Mark Meadows is going to prison. He's in major trouble. I want to know when Donald Trump is going to prison, because this is getting ridiculous. I want to know when Jared Kushner is going to prison. Well, pages keep coming up around justice, the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. They have a ton of information on Mark Meadows, and the Eight of Cups is Mark Meadows regretting the position that he's in. But he's definitely hiding. Not hiding from the DOJ, just he doesn't want to see anybody. He doesn't want to be asked questions. He doesn't want the media following him. He's just, maybe he might be on an island somewhere. I feel like he's gone somewhere to avoid everything, to avoid people.
Moonchild's asking about Devin Nunes.
Oh, whatever happened to Devin Nunes?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be working for Trump at Truth Social. I'm calling it Truth. There's a psychic, her name is Autumn on YouTube, and she calls it Truth Social, which I'm for that, because I like the word truth, and Trump's thing doesn't mean, obviously, it's the opposite of truth. So it's Truth Social. Devin Nunes is he's working there. Doing, that's what the question is. Where is he? That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
I forget that he's still doing that badly. And I feel like what he's doing there is seeing if he can get investors to keep it going. That's interesting. I feel like Devin Nunes is, his main job with Truth Social is to see if he can keep the money coming in from investors. And I don't think he's having very good luck. Just with the extreme, the right-wing extremists. But that's about it.
Okay.
I don't know if there were big advertisers on Truth Social, or I don't think so. Does anyone know? I don't think anybody here would check out Truth Social.
No,
Trump's social media platform. Has anybody in the chat checked it out? Trump's social media platform? Anybody gone on there?
Haven't heard yet.
The other one that's dropped out of view is Elon Musk. All these people that were on the news all the time, all of a sudden it's like, where'd they go? They went into their dark holes.
How about General Michael Flynn?
What's the question?
That's from EI, baby. When is General Michael Flynn going to prison?
He knows he's going, and it feels like by the end of the year.
Mm.
You know, he pled guilty to his ties with Russia before Bill Barr came in and pardoned him. He had already pled guilty, and I think he was in jail. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable.
The king of the Knish, Warren Greene, is asking, will True Social shut down?
Let's ask the pendulum.
Here we go.
Well, everything shuts down eventually, right? Even Twitter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think a better question would be, how much longer will it exist, right? Is that okay with Mr. Warren?
Well, they can't answer instantaneously.
Yeah, I always have conversations with people when I'm doing my life. I ask them questions. It takes a few minutes to, a few seconds to get the answer with the delay. Will Truth Social make it for the duration of 2023? No, that's interesting. Wow. I didn't expect that. Will it be because of lack of funds? Will it be because of, yeah, I'm getting yes. Huh. Well, there you go. Surprising. It's not going to make it past this year. And it's about funding. Will it be because Trump runs out of money? Yeah, I think Trump is going to be in a huge deficit financially. Huge. This is a very big yes. It'll be because of him having no money. How could he really have any money unless he's, I always see him calling it in from his deals on overseas, but I'm not seeing much of that anymore. It's almost like he gets cut off from his connections with our enemy countries from overseas. And I think Jack Smith might have something to do with that. Keep in mind, it's not only Jack Smith. He's just like the head guy.
Good. Live chat's still humming tonight, too.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, do you have another question or?
We do have a bunch. You want to keep going?
We'll go for 15 minutes. How's that?
Oh, boy.
It was easier for me having Sheila do a lot of talking because
She's good.
I was just sitting by and not having to work.
C. Douglas is asking, do you think Musk might be looking at buying YouTube?
Good God.
No, they can't do that.
Where did he get that idea?
I don't know. They might be just throwing stuff out there now.
Google would not let that happen. There's no way.
Yeah,
that would be like taking a good thing and just throwing it away.
Marit Flowers is asking, where's Steve Miller?
See, he's another one we haven't
The
seen
bad
much of.
one, not the good one.
He's on right-wing media. I feel like he's all over right-wing media. Maybe hosting and answering questions and that kind of thing. Some of these people, he's one. I feel like he's just doing the rounds on extremist right-wing media.
Do you know, Annette, last week I went to a funeral and then the reception after the repost, I think they call it, afterwards. And I actually met someone on the far right lunatic fringe.
I know you mentioned that last time.
Did I really?
A Q person?
I couldn't believe it.
Was she talking about the storm coming, or what was she telling you?
No, it's talking about the Hollywood elite drinking the blood of children. Have you heard about this child trafficking in like adrenochrome or something?
Of course. Yeah. You told us that last week, and I was like, I'm surprised that you met somebody like that around here.
I know. It's nuts. And the funny thing is, so while she's telling me the story, and she is dead effing serious the whole time telling me this, and the eyes are gone, like doe-eyed and gone. You know that.
You could tell. Were they like swirly, like
it was just like, yeah, like there's not, like nobody was, it was almost like you can imagine an astronaut out in
Yeah.
space and he would just cut the cord and he would just slowly drift away.
Yeah.
It was like
Nobody's
that
home.
in the eyes, like, that is insane.
That's psychological warfare. Putin, that's what he's done.
It's unbelievable.
Infiltrated the internet and hypnotized people into believing. I wonder what she was like before that, before the takeover. It's like the invasion of the body snatchers.
It's unbelievable.
What did you know her already?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
did?
I might have known her politics might have leaned a certain way. I mean, I could have guessed that.
But you knew her before, so you knew how she was before she got abducted?
I didn't know she was anywhere near in this. I didn't know she was batshit crazy.
That's mind control. That's cult mind control.
So
That's
she goes on this like 3-minute rant about
Yeah.
this, like nonstop, like, Corey, don't you know, da 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 da. And this is what the Hollywood. And when she was done, I just said, so that's what they're doing. And I just walked away. I don't know.
Yeah, I would have liked. I would have. It would have been funny if you said, "Oh, wow, I really do. Wow, yeah."
It was the waitress at this reception after a funeral. I was like, you're keeping me from my drink and from the deceased family.
Because she needs to recruit you and get you to because you see they're trying to save you from the cabal.
Yeah. Well, then it was a lot of well, I know you, Corey, you didn't get the vaccine. Because we know what it's all about. And there was all this.
So you're in the club. She just included you in the club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you get when you make friends with everybody in that.
I won't ask you who it is.
I don't think you would know her.
I
But,
might.
that was the first face-to-face talk with someone. I had one other, a good friend, and it was last summer we were talking about January 6th, and he was convinced that the 6th was staged by the left as a conspiracy.
I don't know how you.
I was like, I can't talk to you anymore.
It's a good thing it wasn't me.
Yeah,
It's a good thing because I would have gone off.
So, and when people say something like that, I just go,
I would have gone off. I wouldn't have been able.
That's
to
what happened. That's what happened.
That's all that Libra that you have in your chart. It serves you well.
Yeah, thanks for telling me. I had that. Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's mind control. It's a real thing.
Where do we go from here, Annette? I can scroll up for questions.
Oh, so this week, today, the moon is in Sagittarius. Mercury went direct. Tomorrow the moon goes into Capricorn a little bit later in the day. We have our Grassroots of Democracy meeting. It's Capricorn's a good sign to get down to work. And the sun will still be in Capricorn until the 20th, when the sun enters Aquarius at 3:30 in the morning Eastern time. And then we have a new moon. Oh my gosh, I'm noticing all the stuff in the astrology. So, the last time I did a session live, I saw a lot of swords this week. I saw a lot of hard stuff this week. So, that's kind of how it's playing out. And with the new moon and the Aquarius energy, just brace yourself for some stuff. That's all. Just be spiritually aligned.
Here's a question we can work with, Annette, from Miss Orchid's Garden. Will Nikki Haley run for president or vice president in 2024?
Nikki Haley doesn't have a chance in hell of being president. Not even remotely. She'll probably run, but I'm not seeing a lot of steam behind that.
I see Paulette's asking where Sheila is. Sheila left. She had to go to another meeting, but we did get a couple of hours in with her tonight.
Yeah, we don't mean to keep people hostage for 3 hours.
Yeah, this is just kind of how Annette and I go. We get on a roll.
We don't expect other people to be able to do this.
So actually, Annette, I do have to run. I actually have to work on a script tonight. So do you want to get to our community cards?
Sure.
Okay, so while you're doing that, I can tell you, if you want to book a personal reading with Annette, just go visit psychicannetteDion.com. And you can do that with her. Yeah, and also you can subscribe to her channel. Just type in Annette Dion on YouTube and you'll find her. Most of you have already, so there is that as well. And Annette and I do this every Wednesday evening, 6:30 Eastern time. But Annette is also on her channel all the time.
I am, and I just want to say something to all the viewers out there. This is how I make my living. This is what I do for a living. And I really like, I do all these free videos that I do to generate readings, which are extremely helpful and extremely informative. I offer a ton of stuff for free. It's all on my website. I have not been very busy. And I don't really know if the guides want me to do something else or, or what's going on. I have classes on Saturdays. I'm starting to teach a lot. And I know I'm a psychic and I should be able to crack the code and figure out what's going on, but people, I have like volumes of information to share with you about your life and about even your astrology. I know a little bit about astrology, your purpose, the challenges, your past lives. I'm a spiritual life coach. I offer so much, and this year is 30 years I've been doing this work. I didn't do this full time for a lot of those years. I was a piano teacher. But I mean, this is my whole life. And I offer you like all that I have. I put all that I am into a reading. And so I'm not understanding why so few people are booking readings. And I'm not complaining. I'm just making people aware. I have time to do a reading for you. I've had like teachers, like what I come to the table with is information and insight and learnings from that nobody else that I know has. I've just been graced with that. So please don't hesitate. Go to my website, book a reading, we have every single Saturday, there's a new class. We're having classes on the law of attraction. This Saturday, it's only $50 for a class. You get a recording of the class afterwards. And the class this coming Saturday is about learning how to not do everything all yourself. I have classes every single Saturday. So I'm expressing a little bit of frustration that it seems like, this should be kind of like back and forth, right? Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
And
Yeah.
I know you give a lot away too. You give a ton away. And it's not that I don't love what I do, or I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it and if I didn't feel so called to do it. So please, it's like it lifts everybody up when we participate. And then the other thing I just want to say is what's going on in this country, on a different note, aside from my business, we need everybody on board. We need everybody on board to save this country from what we're looking at right now, what we're staring down. And it's going to be easier for everybody to face what we're going to be staring down, what's coming down the pike. It's going to be easier for everybody if we know that we're united with one common purpose, which is to save democracy. And I know those sound like just words to so many people, but we're talking about the difference between being able to live your life and all your loved ones and all your family, being able to live as you desire, or basically living like you're in prison.
And folks, if you want to privately correspond with Annette, you can email her at AnnetteDion7, that's the number 7 at gmail.com. And she'll take suggestions, comments. You can, whatever. Maybe you have.
Yeah, it's hard, Corey. I have to just say, it's time for me to say, it's hard for me to have one-way conversations where I'm like, my church of spirituality, my videos, and I have people in the chat and we're chatting back and forth, and that's wonderful. And it's really fun. I just want people to understand it's a two-way street. And I think I speak for the other psychics too. It's a two-way street. It does matter that we have participation from people that supports us. You know, we can get, you know, little donations here and there. We totally appreciate the donations. Just understand that everybody out there is as much a part of this. You know, let's not think that we don't matter as individuals, because we really do. And your participation matters. And with Grassroots of Democracy, if you just come to the meeting and you sit there and you don't turn your Zoom camera on, it's fine. But just please show up. We have over 500 people on our list for Grassroots of Democracy. We have about 9 people show up regularly. And that is, it's upsetting. It's just upsetting. That's all. I'm happy. I'm fine. I'm good. I've been holding it in for a very long time. So I don't advocate for not saying how one feels. So do you have anything you want to get off your chest?
If we were side by side, I would have crammed these right down your throat.
No, I'm not upset.
I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
I'm not upset. I have not said it. I love you guys immensely. And if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even be here on YouTube. And so it isn't even an exchange. I just would like to hear from people. I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs, for God's sake.
Are we doing community cards?
I forgot.
You draw cards. So I want to, we have to thank our moderators, right?
Thank
Annalie
you,
Finch,
thank you,
Christian
thank you.
Montone, Thankful Mom. You guys are awesome tonight. Thanks to everyone who joined us in the chat. We put in another good few hours in for everybody, which is cool. Hopefully we do another show with Sheila sometime down the line as well. She was awesome.
Yeah, that was fun. It's fun to talk to other psychics. That's something that psychics really appreciate, is being able to talk to someone else who understands what it's like to have this kind of a life.
And there were a lot of different names and handles in the chat tonight. So
Great.
Thanks for all the thumbs up, and thanks for the new subscribers. We'll do our best to entertain you folks week in and week out. And we'd like to end our show with a community card or cards for things that we can sort of look out for in the upcoming week.
We have a few cards. The Two of Swords is, you know, this is a week that we're going to just feel like we don't know what is going to happen. This is a stalemate card, where we just feel like we don't know what's going to happen in this country. We can't even know what to think. That's the predominant feeling. We don't even know what to think. And there's a time that we're in a little bit of an in-between time. This is the in-between time before things get really illuminated about we're going to get more information about what's going on behind the scenes. And the Empress indicates a good news time for the United States and our political arena. I know it's hard to believe, but the Two of Swords is, we just have to kind of endure that we're not going to know what's going on in our political system. Well, one thing that pops into my mind is, like, for example, what concessions Kevin McCarthy made. This is the Two of Swords. We're clueless. We don't know, but we will know pretty soon. There's a lot that's going to come to light, but it's going to be more like next week.
And there you have it.
Was I too nasty?
Do you feel you were nasty?
No, I just feel like sometimes, you know, with my Scorpio rising and Moon and Taurus is just like, bam.
I don't know. I mean, it can be frustrating sometimes. It's a lot of hours we put on YouTube. So I can tell you,
I give away like 12 hours a week for free. Absolutely free for years now.
Yeah. And candidly, what I'm trying to do is find ways, and this is what I've done with the Bridge 2 for my hyper local audience and for my clients' home, is how do I grow the business and not nickel and dime folks? Like, I have a real hard time thinking about getting merch for this channel because I'm just so tired of looking at cheap mugs and t-shirts. It's like, do I really want to do that? And then have to charge somebody $25 for a mug, because that's what it would cost to have it done and shipped out to Colorado Springs. It's like,
well, we'll have a business meeting, and my niece is making more merch too. These calendars are still available on my website. 2023 lunar calendars, you know, we've got the rest of the year, so on my website. So,
well,
you know,
me, I'm going to rely on what the folks out there have to say too, because that's why they told me to go on primetime weeknights and not weekends. And so I've sort of curbed the show around their behaviors, which is fine. And we're obviously on to something here too. And it's just,
Yeah, we're on our way. I just had to voice my frustration.
Yeah, it's all good. So, okay. So if you need to get in touch with Annette, folks, AnnetteDion7@gmail.com, or you can book a reading at psychicannetteDion.com. LB and Marit Flowers, thank you. They just tipped the channel. So thanks for that. My deal is every dime that this channel has made since we really got into this the holidays last year is going towards a brand new studio that I'm building here at the house this winter and spring, and hopefully not too far into summer, and to bring you more programs and maybe be on almost every night of the week live with you folks. That's kind of the pipe dream here that I'm working on. So that's my end of the thing. So anyway, I got to thank Sheila, right? Celtic Tarot Sheila. She was awesome tonight.
Yes.
Follow her or spiritual conversations as well. Annette, she's on YouTube all the time. Just type in Annette Dion. It'll take you there. We'll be back with you guys next week, same time, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And Annette, it was great tonight. And thanks for your gifts as well. And we'll see you on the other side.
All right, go to psychicannetteDion.com. It's all there. Just go peruse it.
Okay. Thanks, mods. And thanks everybody for being there. We'll see you soon.
See you next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, folks, that's it. Bubba's snoring behind me, or else I'd show him off tonight for you. So thanks again, everybody. We will see you next week. I believe I'm going to replay the Linda Sabo show on overthinking that I did a couple days ago tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. If people want to take part in a live chat there, it was a cool show. I think it's just under an hour. But it was a great little conversation as usual with Linda. So, and I'll let you know Svetlana next week, plus Annette, and we'll see who else was around too. So, okay, that's it for me. Adios for now. We'll see you soon. Bye.